another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, welcome in 6:05. Lots to talk about this morning, including this investigation now that's happening at LaGuardia Airport in this plane crash involving this Air Canada plane.
It's sad, man. Really sad.
It is sad, and it was really sad to hear some of the extended conversation happening yesterday with the tower, which we didn't have yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the tower, guys was like, I messed up.
Yeah.
And it's devastating to hear that. And one of the other guys was like, well, you're fine. It's okay. You make mistakes. Like, it's no big deal. But this investigation is now ongoing. It's also involving, two different countries. Canada's involved in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
The NTSB is there. One of the things that we heard from one of the people that we heard from yesterday was Governor Kathy Hochul there in the state of New York.
2 young pilots left their homes expecting to return to their families, and they will not. And this is what pains everyone here in the state of New York. I've conveyed our condolences to the Canadian government. I have walked the halls and gone up to Port Authority personnel and police, telling them how grateful we are that they put their lives out there every single day to make sure our traveling public is safe.
That's partly on what's happening with the TSA as well. But just a very sad situation. You also had Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, that said that it's all hands on deck here.
Politics fade away and people work together. And that's why you have people with very different political views coming together, standing together to respond together to an incident like this.
Well, when you hear a person, say, I messed up, and there are people who've died, I know that's, mentally they're just devastated because of that. People lost their lives, and you have that you have that on your conscience.
I mean, there were 3 minutes in between when the plane was cleared to land.
Mm-hmm.
Not landed.
No.
Cleared to land, meaning you're still in the air.
It's still in the air.
You get that okay when you're approaching the runway.
Right.
3 minutes from when they were cleared to air to when they hit the fire truck. 3 minutes.
Wow.
That's how quickly that these folks in the tower have to, they're moving all the chess pieces around the chessboard.
Oh,
right? They're making sure that everything is in the right spot. People aren't where they're not supposed to be. Trucks aren't where.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very, very difficult, high stress job. We've talked about that before with towers.
Absolutely. And when these planes are coming in, man, they're coming in. They're going pretty quick. It doesn't take long to get,
they're coming in hot.
They're coming in real hot. Yeah.
The situation in Iran, it is wild to me because so yesterday during the show, we got the breaking news that the president was going to pause his military strikes on these energy and factories, infrastructure in Iran
for 5 days
as a result of Iran not opening the Strait of Hormuz.
That's right.
Okay. Well, then he says, we're pausing it.
Mm-hmm.
Good news. Yep. We're going to talk. We're talking. We've been talking the last couple of days.
Looking good so far. So,
really positive.
Sure.
Forward, moving direction here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then these reports started coming out that they weren't talking.
Right.
That the president not that he was involved in the direct talks, but was basically lying. Iran came out and said nobody's talking.
Right.
Which actually, that jives more with the rhetoric coming out of Iran over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Which is like, we are now actively engaged. We're not asking for a ceasefire. We're not asking for any of these things unless they've come to the realization that maybe this is not something long-term that they can sustain.
Well, yeah. And, you do back channels and stuff. And the people in Iran are like, no, we're not. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. But you have somebody in the back channel saying, can we talk over here?
I think that's more likely.
I'm thinking that's more likely too.
I'm thinking that's more likely. But at the same time, the president says that this is happening. Iran has poo-pooed it. They've said this, this idea of some sort of diplomatic route is not the way that this is going to go. But there are other reports that there could be face-to-face conversations this week.
So we'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
We'll see what
Again,
happens.
it's like very cautiously optimistic here.
Yeah.
We're cautiously optimistic.
I mean, the president says if this doesn't work out, he'll just, what did he say? We'll just keep bombing them. Just keep bombing them. Basically.
Obliterate them.
Yes.
Yep. Which, of course, that would make sense.
Yes.
That's what they're actively doing now.
Right.
Also, the Senate has confirmed Markwayne Mullin, 54-45. John Fetterman, Martin Heinrich, the two Democrats to vote for Markwayne Mullin, and Rand Paul did not vote for Markwayne Mullin.
Did not. No.
Were you surprised by that?
Not at all. Not at all.
They had more beef than Kendrick and Drake.
I'm telling you.
So it's not a surprise that he didn't vote for him. But now he is the new DHS secretary.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe now, Markwayne Mullin and the Democrats can get together and work out something so we can get the funding back for DHS, so we can get these TSA workers back to work and get FEMA straightened out and get everything, Secret Service, everybody getting paychecks again, because this is just, it's just too much. And, having ICE in the airports and going through that, it's just, can we just fund DHS and get this done?
Here's Tom Homan, by the way, speaking on ICE at the airports.
The wait lines are already dropped. Plus, we're doing a security function at the airports. We're going to arrest criminals going through this airport. We're going to look for human trafficking, sex trafficking, money smuggling.
Things that are always happening at the airport anyway.
Yeah.
Boy, we got a doozy for you too later. Richard Blumenthal dropping some unbelievable comments on Twitter.
What the
we'll
what?
Talk about what the huh?
Yeah. A new proposal for a data center on Detroit's east side, fueling some heated debate over land use and resources. The city has received this bid to develop 14.4 acres of city-owned land on Shoemaker Street, located between the Stellantis plant and City Airport. While the site could house an industrial building of up to 180,000 square feet, experts from Michigan State University say it's likely a conventional facility rather than a hyperscale center. However, City Councilwoman Letitia Johnson is questioning the move, citing concerns over high electricity demands and a lack of local jobs. Last week, as you know, City Council approved a measure urging a 2-year moratorium on all data center construction to allow time for new zoning regulations. Mary Sheffield, the mayor, says she is currently vetting the requests to determine what is in the best interest of Detroiters. So the data centers are hitting Detroit now.
Hitting Detroit, maybe not. Maybe they're going to pause it.
Maybe, but the talks are going.
Talks are going. Look, there's no doubt these companies are zeroing in on Michigan.
Oh, absolutely.
They are zeroing in. And look, I understand why people don't necessarily want to have them in their backyard. I get it. I understand it.
I get it.
But I think the money here is going to be a driving factor for a lot of these communities.
Train is coming.
Yeah. How about the Pistons last night? Nice win against the Lakers.
Against the Lakers without Cade.
No Cade. Had to go toe-to-toe with LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves and all these guys, but we got it done.
Yep.
Dennis Jenkins had a really nice game.
Yeah, he had
22
30
points. Oh, 30? Okay.
Yeah, he had 30 points, and the victory moves the Pistons 5 games clear of the Boston Celtics for the top seed in the East.
And again, you're doing it without Cade.
I'm telling you, man, these guys are dangerous.
That's a really impressive game for the Pistons last night. All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up on the other side, Rocky Rachkovsky joins us. Are they talking? Are they not talking? We're going to talk about that coming up on JR Morning.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
Welcome to Making the Impossible Possible with Henry Ford Health. And with us today is cardiologist Dr. Corey Russell. From the routine to leading edge breakthroughs at Henry Ford, healthcare is more than high tech. It's human. And Dr. Russell, how does this impact your work?
That's so true. As a physician, what we do is intrinsically personal. It's incredibly important to me to maintain that human connection with my patients. My goal is to help my patients feel better and continue living longer, happier lives with their loved ones. That truly makes me happy.
Well, that's wonderful. And Henry Ford is a nonprofit. How does this impact the care you give as a physician?
Because Henry Ford Health is a nonprofit, our donors and their gifts power the advancements that help us improve and save more lives every day. Philanthropy is the difference maker that enables the next level of exceptional patient-centered care, leading-edge research, clinical training excellence, and broad community impact.
Great. Cardiovascular care is part of your Detroit expansion plans. Can you share more?
Cardiovascular care will be one of the specialties in the new hospital facility currently being built at our Detroit campus. Thanks to donor support, we can continue to engage in the most advanced research while investing in the best equipment and technology available, all to improve our patients' lives.
To learn more or make a gift, visit henryford.com/above and beyond.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk with The Vince Show.
It is a reflection of your response to this program that we get to take this thing to the next level. These gigantic shows. This is going to be so much fun. It's unbelievable.
In-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
I've got updates. I've got big stories. We'll sort through the truth of what's really going on. So buckle up. Here it comes.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
No crashes on the roadways so far this morning. The westbound 94 on-ramp from Van Dyke is closed for construction till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Left lane closed on 4th Street southbound at Van Horn till later today. Right lane is closed on M59 in both directions between Williams and Voorhees until 3 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Chilly start to the week yesterday. Now milder air pushing in through midweek and beyond. 39 yesterday. Average value this time of year for the high is 49. We're closer to that today with increasing clouds. 48 tonight, cloudy, 35. Suburbs, you'll be a little bit cooler. Milder tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 55. Showers by Thursday afternoon up to the upper 60s. Maybe some thunderstorms by Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk. President Donald Trump is urging Senate Republicans to eliminate the filibuster and remain in Washington to pass the Save America Act. The legislation faces significant hurdles as it lacks the 60 votes needed to overcome procedural opposition. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
So the U.S. and Iran are in direct talks to potentially bring this war to an end.
Are they?
That's what the president says.
Okay.
It's not what Iran says.
No.
Iran says that's not the case. But there are reports in Reuters, for example, today, or actually last night, that said direct talks between the United States and Iran could be held in person in Islamabad as early as this week. Pakistan, Egypt, other Gulf states have been relaying messages between the United States and Iran, between Washington and Tehran. And there would be a number of people involved in this. The Iranian media says that both the president of Iran and the Pakistani prime minister have discussed the war's impact on the region and global security on a phone call yesterday. So there does seem to be conversations happening. Whether or not the United States and Iran are interacting directly, and maybe that's where I think you start to get the wires crossed, that, if when Donald Trump says, oh, yeah, we're talking with Iran and we're going to make a deal happen, and Iran goes, no, we're not, they might both be right. Because they're not really talking directly to the United States. They're working through intermediaries. And then again, what we get here is a mass confusion of information. You get people not knowing actually what's going on.
Exactly. And to me, when you have all those kind of mediators helping, in this, I mean, does that calm things down or does it make things confusing and more volatile? I don't know.
It makes things more confusing for people that want good information.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Maybe not for the people who are involved, but
for the people
us,
who are involved, they're obviously going to know way more than we do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Right.
But this is kind of what I saw leading up to this. And it was a little bit of what the president had said, is that Iran was hesitant to come to the table and at least negotiate or give up on some of the issues that the United States had thought were important.
Okay.
That they did not come correct. They weren't ready to actually negotiate. Instead, they were obfuscating, they were dragging their feet, they were slow rolling it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's when the president said, enough's enough.
Okay.
Done with this.
Yeah.
That's not to say that the things are different now. It's not to say that those conversations wouldn't go differently now. Maybe it would. But there is still this idea that the Iranians they weren't serious.
Yeah.
They weren't ready. Well, maybe it's a different story.
Maybe it's not. Yeah, but they've been bombed a lot. They've been hit a lot. It's a different story. You wake up, sometimes you gotta get in the gutter and do things so they can understand it a little better. You try to do the diplomatic way. They don't really understand that, but they understand if they get hit a few times.
Meanwhile, you've got folks, particularly on the Republican side of things. Here's the interesting part, is if this thing continues to go longer than they expect, we're just in week 4 now, okay? So we are right in that range where they talked about hoping, how long this would last.
Like 5 weeks or so.
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I think there's a real fissure in the Republican Party, particularly in Congress, when it comes to what they're willing to do for this conflict. Because I've got Representative Lauren Boebert, right?
Yeah.
She's like,
no money.
I ain't giving you money.
That's right.
And there are other Republicans that are saying that too. They're like, I'm not doing that. We need America First policy. She goes, I have folks in Colorado who can't live. I'm not voting to give you $200 billion in supplemental funding for this war. No way.
Yeah.
And again, I cannot blame her for feeling that way.
No. And anybody else who's representing their constituents when, things are happening over here that need to be taken care of.
But here's the uncomfortable truth that I think this administration will, if we get to that point, have to deal with.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that there's a real possibility that there's not even really enough support to vote on this thing.
You don't even think it gets?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they only have a very slim majority in the House.
True. Right.
And I know of at least a handful of Republicans that aren't on board with this. That's enough.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that I feel like it could get pretty dicey here for the Republicans. And maybe, Iran's willing to hold out. They know that too.
Oh, of course they do. Of course they do. And, and maybe too, a lot of the people on Capitol Hill feel like you're coming to us for $200 billion. We don't know how long this war is going to go. Does this mean you may even come back and ask for some more money?
I hope not.
I hope not either. But I'm sure they're thinking that. We don't have an end date. We don't have an end game here. We don't know when this is going to end. And you're asking for $200 billion. This could continue to go, spending more money. Those bombs and missiles, they're not cheap.
They are not cheap. No, they are not cheap. They are not cheap when you compare that to what we're seeing on the other side.
On the other side with the drones.
With
right?
the drones
yes.
and the way that these are just very much inexpensive, things. That make a real difference in the money you spend on these wars. How about good news for the good folks in Traverse City? They have been named the best food city in the Midwest by Midwest Living. The food scene up in Traverse City over the last decade has been fantastic.
Oh,
absolutely fantastic. There is nothing better. I mean, you go up there in the middle of the summer, hit a couple restaurants, couple bars, couple spots, hit the beaches. It's one of the best spots in the country.
I was just up there a couple of weeks ago and had dinner. Yeah, and it was wonderful. Loved it. Luckily, I was there the week before the big storm came, and because when I was up there, it was barely any snow on the ground.
I can't remember who it was, but there was one of those. It was Mario Batali.
Okay.
Was it Mario Batali who opened up a spot in Traverse City? I think he did. He was married to somebody from Michigan, up in that area.
Okay.
And moved to Traverse City. He was, in terms of the celebrity chefs and all the people like that.
Sure.
He was one of the bigger names, particularly at the time. And I think he moved there, created a restaurant. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm just off the top of my head trying to reach back. But yeah. So you've got these world-renowned chefs that have restaurants in some of the biggest food cities in the world. And you're coming here and opening things. This was probably 10 years ago now, but it just gives credence to what you're doing. It gives a lot of validity to the region and to the city and to the people that want to eat really good food up there.
Well, it's pure Michigan, right?
It is pure Michigan. There's no doubt about that. The Sioux Locks opening up this week. So we've got, shipping season coming in hot and heavy here.
Oh, yeah.
And this, there's been a lot of work done to try to bring a lot of money to the Sioux Locks. There's been a real effort to make sure that these things are taken care of, making sure they're maintained. And Gary Peters has been crucial in that.
He's been
in his time in the Senate. Yeah, certainly. All right, coming up on the other side, this new policy roadmap for the automotive industry. What does it mean for those in the political game? What does it mean for those in the auto industry to show where we need to go to make this industry as important as it is to us, to the rest of the country? It's next on JR Morning.
Slip and fall accidents can happen anywhere, especially in winter with ice and snow. When a business does nothing to protect its customers from danger and someone gets hurt, then it becomes our business. Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers is Michigan's only law firm specializing in slip and fall cases, with millions recovered in compensation for our clients. We're here to protect you all year round. Go to falllaw.com now for your free consultation. That's falllaw.com.
Is your home feeling too cold in the winter or too hot in the summer? Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical to let you know that our technicians are here to make sure your home keeps you comfortable all year long. From installations to repairs, our trusted technicians have you covered and will never sell you anything you don't need. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, we've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit familyheating.com to find the location near you and call to schedule your free no-pressure estimate today.
Here with J&E Installations' Jeff Esker. If someone is shopping for new windows and doors this season, they're going to find what they need at J&E, right?
Yeah, we're a certified pellet contractor. We also carry Marvin windows. We also are a certified Thermo 2 door dealer. At J&E Installation, you'll have peace of mind because we guarantee all our workmanship.
Because it's a big purchase.
We understand purchasing new windows and doors is a huge investment, and we take that very seriously at J&E Installation.
Call 248-473-6999 or visit jneinstallation.com.
I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. We make mortgages easy, and we believe transparency is the key to great client service. Our clients get the lowest rate and fees while communicating with one home loan advisor from start to finish. To make your experience even easier, we're going to cover the cost of your appraisal. Transparent and direct communication, lowest rates and fees, and a free appraisal. The client just means more at Hall Financial. 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1467435.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Diplomacy moving to the front of the table. Reported talks between the U.S. and Iran, but that is not stopping airstrikes.
The Iranians are continuing their attacks against Israel, launching a number of ballistic missile barrages against this country overnight. One of those missiles early this morning slammed into the heart of Tel Aviv. And we just returned from this scene where first responders were removing debris and rubble. This was a direct impact, according to police.
Fox's Trey Yangs, President Trump extending the deadline before the potential bombing of Iran's energy sector. The NTSB leading the probe into the deadly collision Sunday night between an Air Canada plane and a fire truck in the runway at LaGuardia Airport.
They've been able to at least verify that the cockpit voice recorder was not damaged.
That's NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says that black box is being reviewed in D.C. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Batteries Plus. Dead car battery? The experts at Batteries Plus will have you in and out fast. Replacements usually take about 20 minutes. No appointment needed. Want to extend the life of your car battery too? Ask about their premier installation. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Crash free on the roads this Tuesday morning. Westbound 94, the on-ramp from Van Dyke is closed for construction till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Left lane is closed on 4th Street southbound at Van Horn till later today. Right lane closed on M59 in both directions between Williams and Voorhees. That's in place until 3 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, turning cloudy this afternoon with a high of 47. Right now it's 24. Overcast tonight, low of 32. Cloudy tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by respected educator Dr. Robert Livernoy. It's a conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Wakely Associates Architects. The highest performing school facilities start with premier architectural design. Wakely Associates Architects, trusted since 1951.
Lanier in transition hits the three, and a sign of life from Knoxville.
Bland driving right. Lob for Brazil and a two-hand slam.
6 on the clock. Now with 5, he drives on Maddox. Right elbow and 3. Spin to the foul line. Jumper up and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Sponsored by Tryon. Visit RelyOnTryon.com. For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
It is a very clear message from Mish Auto to the automotive industry and to those that have a stake in it. Innovate or die.
More than 60 leaders from business, government, education, economic development gathered in Grand Rapids this week to kick off a statewide conversation about Michigan's future in the global auto industry with rapid changes driven by electrification, artificial intelligence, growing global competition. The goal is to develop a long-term strategy to keep Michigan at the center of automotive innovation and manufacturing. And joining us to talk about what comes next, Glenn Stevens Jr., Executive Director of Mish Auto at the Detroit Regional Chamber. Glenn, it's always great to have you on JR Morning.
Good morning, Lloyd and Chris. How are you today?
We are well, and I know you've said that the auto industry is going through the biggest transformation in over 120 years. What feels different about this moment compared to past shifts?
Well, you put it really well when you set up to what we did in kicking things off in Grand Rapids. And yes, this is a 120, 25-year-old industry. It drives our economy. It impacts every community. And it's also a tremendous platform for diversification. But the seismic change and the threats it's under right now are really unprecedented. And I don't use that lightly. There are many forces at work here, and we have to be ready for it and lean into the future.
Well, let's talk about that. Expand on it. What are those forces? What are the dangers here?
We've identified 5 forces, and of course, these ebb and flow. But let me just rip through them real quick for you. They are competition, primarily China, but that's other states and regions too.
Mm-hmm.
It's trade and regulatory policy and the whiplash that's coming with that. It's certainly AI and automation. It's the turbulent EV and battery transition, and it's really the speed of innovation. Some people refer to it as China speed, but it's just innovation. How do we get things done faster? How do we develop higher tech and at a lower cost across our industry to compete? And those are really the things we're looking as we lay out this automotive policy roadmap for Michigan's future.
Is it really a race right now, Glenn? And if so, like, who's winning globally?
Well, it's always been a race, Lloyd, and the forces are definitely that, and that's global. I mean, if you look at the Chinese industry, it didn't exist like it does today, not that long ago. But they are the benchmark in many areas now, and companies are looking to that. And they're also expanding globally. And Michigan has a place of strength. We cannot forget that, but we also can't take it for granted. I mean, our legacy doesn't get us to the future. It's just that. It's the past. We have to lean into the future.
What are the things, because I imagine they're vastly different concerns if you're an executive at an auto company or if you're an employee of the auto company, if you're working on the line or in some of these facilities. What are the concerns of each parties?
Well, they do vary, and we have different stakeholders here. We have the auto OEMs, we have the suppliers of all different shapes and sizes. We have the education community, we have the support infrastructure, banking and real estate, and we're all stakeholders. Yesterday, I was in Auburn Hills Chamber for a roundtable. Great event that they put on, and we listen to the different voices from these different players because it does impact everybody differently. But as we get ready for new elected officials, when we wake up on August 5th, we'll have 3 gubernatorial candidates. And on November 4th, we're going to wake up and have new federal and state legislators, and we have to have a roadmap ready for them to tell them this is our industry today, and this is where it's going, and this is what we need to do to grow it.
Glenn, let's talk jobs. I mean, what skills are going to like define the next generation of auto workers here in Michigan? I mean, are our schools and colleges and training programs, are they moving fast enough to keep up with where the industry is going?
I think we have pockets of excellence all over our state, Lloyd. I mean, we've got tremendous educational institutions. What we don't have is we are not providing the base level strong education systems, and we don't have the pathways to get people to the right places. And what I mean by that is, you know, the statistics, you talk about it. I mean, we've read the same BLM report for how many years. We need to change those dynamics. And we have to do a better job of aligning people for the skills of the future. The factory has automation. The factory has AI. So does the connected vehicle, and so does connected infrastructure. There are plenty of jobs, but we got to get people aligned and ready for them.
Well, and then you're working with you're working against other companies that are constantly innovating too. I mean, you've got other automakers from around the world, these Chinese companies that are putting pressure too.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons we want to go around the state and listen to the different voices to understand what they feel the competition is. But nobody's under any misconceptions about what is going on. We understand China. We understand southern states. We understand other technologies, as you mentioned. And this is the tech industry itself. This is the energy industry. This is the life sciences industry. They're all really interconnected in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're moving around the state to do these roundtables in Grand Rapids. We're going to be at Michigan Central Thursday, Battle Creek, Metro Detroit, and Flint. And we're going to get the voices together, and we're going to make sure we put this roadmap together.
Glenn Stevens, Executive Director of Mich Auto at the Detroit Regional Chamber. Always a pleasure having you on, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Take care and have a great day.
Yeah,
you as well.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we're seeing, like General Motors started test driving this week on highways in both Michigan and California on mostly autonomous driving, self-driving technology. So they've got people that are trained behind the wheels.
Yeah.
Just in the event that they need to take over. But they've been collecting data from all over the country in these vehicles in the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
A really good story in the Detroit News about this. Summer Ballantyne put it out there. But they're launching eyes-off driving beginning in 2028 in a lot of their premium vehicles, the Escalade, IQ mostly. But GM's goal is to have mostly self-driving vehicles that can operate even if you fall asleep.
I mean, and those are some of the things that people are, going to be wondering, especially, how these systems handle in Michigan weather, in construction, dealing with other cars. I mean, I'm wondering how drivers feel being on the road with autonomous vehicles, people who are actually driving on the road with a car that there's no driver.
Yeah, again, I think it's more like my perspective always is like, it's new, it's different.
Yeah.
It can be a little nerve-wracking at first, but boy, you hop in a Waymo or something in one of these big cities. They're testing in Detroit now, or they're bringing these vehicles down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to become the norm. It's going to be much more normal. It might be a little more different here because, again, we don't rely on a transit system.
No, we don't have that.
You drive downtown, you park, you go where you need to go.
Might get on a people mover, hear my voice.
Might get on the people mover and hear the dulcet tones of Lloyd Jackson.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's how we get around.
That is.
And so if you're going to go bar hopping or LCA to the Detroiter or around town, well, yeah, you might hop in an Uber or a Waymo, and it might, it'll be different at first, but it's going to become the norm. It's going to become very normal. So even if you're on the highway driving an autonomous vehicle or sitting behind the wheel of an autonomous vehicle, eventually it's going to get to the point where it's going to become the norm.
Does this maybe create some high-tech jobs in Michigan? And what happens to, the traditional driving jobs long term? You're going to keep some people out of jobs?
Well, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if they're going to want like truly I think they're always going to want somebody behind the wheel.
Okay.
But I don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, that it could just be going towards that, and
it may start that way, but it may not end that way.
You may not end up owning a car in 20 years.
That's true.
You may end up just calling somebody, they come pick you up in your house in 2 minutes, and away you go.
Yeah.
And it'll take you wherever you need to go, and nobody's behind the wheel. It could lead to that. I could see that. But it's going to be different, and then it's not. And then it's going to be the norm.
Yeah. Coming up, that Air Canada plane crash with the vehicle killing the pilots and injuring more. We're going to talk about that with the former Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Transportation next at 6:49 on JR Morning.
While no one knows what tomorrow may bring, Bridgestone is working toward a more positive outlook with innovations like developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. It's just one of the many ways Bridgestone is making a difference today for generations to come, because that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Inside Retirement with Brett Brzezinski of the Brzezinski Group, Tuesday nights at 7 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Inside Retirement with Brett Brzezinski, Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health. We can.
As the sounds, smells, and warmth of spring have finally arrived here in Michigan, so has the threat of those nasty spring storms. Many of us have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. My friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are here to help. There is no company I trust more because I know the family, I know the company, and I know none of their people work on commission. This year, be ready for Mother Nature with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. If your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. The technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit FamilyHeating.com to schedule your free estimate today.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
On the Jeffries eastbound at Newburgh, an accident's taking up the left lane. That has traffic slow from 275. The westbound 94 on-ramp from Van Dyke is closed for construction till 4 o'clock this afternoon. And the right lane is closed on M59 in both directions between Williams and Voorhees till 3 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Temperatures trying to rebound now after upper 30s yesterday. Should shoot into the upper 40s today. Clear sky early. Increasing clouds, though, as we head on through the day. Tonight, cloudy, 35. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Wednesday, mainly cloudy, 55. Showers by Thursday afternoon, maybe a few thunderstorms by Thursday night. Thursday's highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
So we're learning a little bit more about this Air Canada plane crash that crashed into that fire truck out at LaGuardia. Obviously, things came to a screeching halt yesterday. The two pilots died. There were 40 injuries or so. How did something like this happen? For that question, we look for answers from Mary Schiavo, the former Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Transportation, who joins us this morning. Mary, good morning. Good to have you back.
Good morning. Good to be with you. Thank you.
So it sounds like we learned a little bit more from some of the audio from the tower, as a matter of fact. One of the tower operators said that he felt like he had made a mistake. Why?
Yes.
What mistake was made?
Well, so what it looks like now, and there's obviously a huge investigation to come, but it appears that the fire truck did call the tower. Now, there was a debate whether they were talking to ground control or tower, but the communications that came out, the fire truck called the tower and asked permission to cross the runway that was being used, runway 4, and the controller had already given this Canada flight, this Air Canada being flown by Jazz Airlines, a regional carrier, permission to land. And what the explanation for that is obviously a part of the investigation. Did the airplane hear the permission to the fire truck to cross the runway had been cleared on? Did the fire truck hear the transmission to the aircraft that they had been given clearance to land? And so there's a lot of questions about who heard what, but now at this point it does appear that the tower, perhaps the same person, that's not clear, gave the clearance to both vehicles, the plane and the truck, to be on the runway at the same time. Huge mistake.
Mary, investigators now have both the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. How critical are those, those first like 24, 48 hours once those black boxes are recovered?
Well, it's very critical because there's so much information on modern black boxes. And in fact, the NTSB has been begging for years to even expand those parameters to make the cockpit voice recorder longer than 2 hours, to add more data collection things. But they will have exactly what transpired on that cockpit voice recorder. And obviously, it's in good shape. There was not a fire, thank heavens. And so they will have exactly what was said and exactly what was heard in the cockpit. The other question here, though, is not just what the tower said and who heard what and who was responsible for these conflicting communications, but what happened with all the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So we could hear the alarm. And when you listen to those tapes, you hear an alarm going off in the background just before the collision. I think that is something called the airport surface detection equipment, which was this newer modern equipment which is supposed to give air traffic controllers real-time information of all movement on all runways and taxiways. And that means that not only the aircraft, but also the vehicles at the airport are equipped with transmitters called, we heard a lot about this in the accident at Reagan National, ADSB, in and out, where the vehicle actually transmits a signal too. And so was that equipment malfunctioning? Are the algorithms wrong that they don't give enough warning to the cockpit? And also LaGuardia is one of 20 airports that have runway warning lights, both at the ends of the runways and at runway crossings. Did those not help? So there's a lot of technology questions here too. And if we're going to keep putting more and more aircraft in airports that can't handle any more aircraft, we need this technology to work. And it appears it did not.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask what that sound was at the end of that audio that was released from the tower in those communications. This investigation looks like this could take some time, especially when you're working with both the United States government and the Canadian government here. What are we expecting to see in the coming days, and what is going to take so long here?
Well, this is an international flight, so under the international guidelines and regulations, the NTSB will produce a preliminary report within 30 days. And they've been pretty good about that. And that's just the facts they know to date. And yesterday they had a briefing and they didn't really tell us anything new whatsoever. They were quite guarded. But this one, I think that the NTSB will obviously fast track, as they did the Washington-Reagan D.C. crash, because obviously this problem is only growing. We have, I think last year we had maybe something like 1,600 or 1,700 runway incursions. Now the FAA always points out that only a dozen of them were the highest category severity. But literally, if you come within a few feet of, landing on another aircraft or, having a collision on the runway, that's a collision without casualties. So this has been a big issue for years, and now we've had 2 collisions in about a year. I think the NTSB will fast track this, because if this equipment isn't working as planned, if we can't have these large number of aircraft flying in and out of these congested airports, I think the NTSB will act very quickly to make some pretty tough recommendations.
Mary Scalva, always appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Meanwhile, what we're seeing at airports as well is ICE officials.
Yes.
And there have been, I've seen different numbers. I've seen 13 different airports. I've seen 14 different airports. But some of the big ones, Chicago, O'Hare International Airport, Cleveland
Atlanta.
Hopkins International Airport. Certainly Atlanta International Airport, JFK, LaGuardia, New Orleans is in the mix as well. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, some of the places that we've seen a lot of the long lines.
Yeah.
And Chuck Schumer says this isn't going to help.
Everywhere ICE goes, trouble follows. We've seen that. And it is highly likely the airports will be no exception. No one trusts that ICE is going to make things better.
Yeah.
I got a real problem with that kind of rhetoric.
Well, yeah.
I got a real problem, because the realities are Democrats are holding up this funding to DHS. Now, I understand that the party in power and gets the most blame. I understand it.
Yeah.
But they're the ones holding this up.
Yeah.
And so the real problem that you then get into is not only are you not funding DHS, but you're also creating this inflamed situation.
You are.
Where the president is just trying to give you another option so that you have more TSA agents dedicated to security and getting people out.
Because you've seen those lines.
They're crazy. And again, who pays the price for this? We do.
Yeah.
You flying out to spring break, you flying out to business,
right?
You flying out for pleasure. Inevitably it's on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You're the one who has to bear that burden.
You got to get up earlier and show up at the airport 5 hours before your plane leaves.
Yeah. So to me, that's a real problem. And we got a real doozy from Richard Blumenthal, the senator, as well. My goodness. We'll tell you what he had to say on X, because I think that's also equally as ridiculous, crazy, nonsensical as it gets. 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock hour coming up next on JR Morning.
Spring is here, and so are the savings at Clarkston Window and Door. This month, get 37% off installed replacement windows, plus 0% financing for 15 months. You heard that right, 37% off, 0% financing for 15 months. And Clarkston is even giving you free exterior color on top of all that. Call Clarkston Window and Door today or visit us online.
We sell, we install, that's right, we do it all. Clarkston Window and Door.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Whitaker Logistics is looking to bring on owner-operators with later model trucks, fleet owners, and highly qualified company drivers throughout our Midwest region. If you're an experienced driver willing to run in a regional market, our customer base provides a work-life balance and dispatch flexibility second to none. In addition to our flexible work week configurations, ask about our contractor compensation, as well as our company driver benefits. Talk to our recruiter at 866-711-1390 or submit your application at drivewhitaker.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
They don't even agree that they're trying to work out an agreement. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump insists Iran badly wants to work out a deal. He says it could be good for everybody.
As good as if we went all the way and just literally annihilated the place, which if we don't have to do that, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing.
But Iran's parliament speaker, reported to be involved in the talks, calls that fake news.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards also dismissing what they call psychological operations. But an Iranian foreign ministry official admits his country has at least reviewed points from the US as a precursor to talks. The White House says the situation is fluid. Reuters reports Pakistan could host substantive peace talks as soon as this week.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Trump delayed his threatened attacks on Iran's power plants and energy infrastructure, but the U.S. and Israel continue hitting other targets, and Iran keeps countering, launching another barrage of missiles at Israel. Fox's Trey Yingst is at the site where one got through air defense.
Right now, first responders are removing debris and rubble from the site of a direct impact in Tel Aviv. The side of this apartment building totally sheared off. At least 6 people were wounded in Israel's second largest city as these Iranian missile barrages continue.
Mark Wayne Mullen will soon be a former senator, confirmed last night, maybe sworn in today as the new Homeland Security Secretary as talks continue, trying to end a stalemate over funding his department. TSA agents have worked without pay for more than a month, and more aren't showing up, leading to hours-long airport security lines. So Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
ICE agents have been spotted at major airports. Border Czar Tom Homan says they're prioritizing airports where the wait times are the longest, like in Atlanta, Houston, New Orleans, and New York City.
That's where investigators continue looking into Sunday night's crash at LaGuardia Airport. National Transportation Safety Board Director Jennifer Homendy just told Fox.
They have a lot of questions for air traffic control.
An Air Canada Express flight collided with a fire truck right after landing, killing both pilots. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
On the Jeffries eastbound at Newburgh, an accident in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. That's causing delays to 275. Southbound 275 slow between 6 Mile and M14. The westbound 94 on-ramp from Van Dyke closed until 4 o'clock this afternoon for construction. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, turning cloudy this afternoon with a high of 47. Right now, it's 23. Overcast tonight and a low of 32. Cloudy tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com. Paid for by Stellus Pharma.
Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
that feeling, Detroit. You're merging onto the lodge or hitting the 696 rush and your eyelids feel like they weigh 10 pounds each. We just sprung forward for daylight saving time, and for many of us in the Motor City, that lost hour is still catching up. March is National Sleep Awareness Month, and while we're the city that keeps the world moving, we can't do it safely if we're running on empty. Drowsy driving is just as dangerous as drunk driving. Exactly what you don't need when you're navigating something like a Michigan construction zone. Prioritize your best slept self. Cool down your room. Put the phone away an hour before bed, and if you're feeling a micro sleep behind the wheel, pull over. Let's keep our streets safe and our minds sharp. Visit theNSF.org or search Sleep Awareness Month for more tips. Sleep well, Detroit. We've got a big day tomorrow.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
7 o'clock hour. Good to have you. Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, Jamie Edmonds with the day off.
She has left the boys
Yes.
in the house by themselves.
Say what? The studio's a mess. It's a disaster here. Yeah. So the president announced that this pause was taking place and that negotiations actually were happening with Iran, that they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
And Iran basically said that they had no interest in this, that this was not something that they wanted at this point. They didn't want a ceasefire. They didn't want a deal.
No.
They felt like they were inflicting what damage they could, not only to the United States, but its partners, its allies across the region, across the world. Gas prices going up, the whole deal, right?
Right.
So the president announces this pause into the plan that he had to hit energy infrastructures as a way to pressure Iran to open up the Strait of Hormuz. Well, then Iran came out and said that, well, then we're just going to hit desalination stations across the region and we're going to have a water crisis.
Water problem, yeah.
Well, the problem with all of this is Iran says that they're still not talking. That Iran and the United States are not actively engaged in these, great conversations that the president portrayed them to be in.
And it may not. Those two, U.S. and Iran directly.
It may be from mediators.
There you go.
Absolutely. Certainly. But it's still an interesting dynamic here because what we saw after the president announced that pause, this 5-day, holding pattern to see if they can get a deal done, what we saw is stock markets go up, oil prices come down, and it proves that there's a lot of people hanging on every word.
Every
of
word.
This thing.
They are looking for anything.
But we'll see what happens here. Because I think there's a lot of skepticism that these conversations are ongoing. And the real reason is I think everybody has to save face, right? The regime in Iran can't look like they're capitulating.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
can't look like they're giving in, although they're being bombarded.
But they're sending out emails saying if you come out and you protest, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, there's that too.
I mean, they're saying that to their people.
And the United States, I don't think that the president or the administration can look like they are taking anything less than what they want, which is Iran will never, ever have a nuclear weapon. They've already set them back militarily, at least from their ability to conduct strikes or counterstrikes, things like that.
Yeah.
And the willingness of the regime to continue to fund these terrorist proxy groups. That's something that the United States has a great stake in too. So we'll see, but it does create a lot of confusion around what's going on, who the United States is talking to in these great discussions that are happening.
Probably more confusion for us than
more confusion for the American people.
Yeah.
Yes, and the Iranian people.
Sure.
Quite frankly.
Sure.
Also, the situation at LaGuardia Airport, there's an investigation, of course, underway to that plane, that Air Canada plane that ran into the fire truck that was trying to cross that runway.
They have the black boxes now.
Yes, they have the information. So the investigation's ongoing. So if you missed our conversation with Mary Schiavo, the former TSA official, this is going to be a lengthy process. Not TSA, excuse me, Department of Transportation. she says that not only will the NTSB have to record a preliminary finding of this investigation within 30 days, but because this is an international flight, both the United States and Canada are involved. So this could take a long time. Could take up to a year or more for the final results of this to come to light. So just something to watch for as those two pilots have died. There were 43 injuries. So, but that investigation is currently underway. And Sean Duffy says everybody's working and rowing in the same direction.
Politics fade away and people work together. And that's why you have people with very different political views coming together, standing together to respond together to an incident like this.
Oakland County has erased $6 million in medical debt for about 6,300 residents. They announced that yesterday, officials did, and the relief comes through a partnership with national nonprofit Undo Medical Debt, which has now helped more than 20,000 county residents eliminate $15 million in medical bills. Now, residents impacted by this round received notification letters on March 9th. County Executive Dave Coulter says the initiative gives people a second chance and helps them regain financial stability. Medical debt remains a major cause of bankruptcy, affecting an estimated 114,000 Oakland County residents. Now, for more information on the medical debt and removing it, you can go to undumedicaldebt.org. Undo, D-U-E, undumedicaldebt.org.
It was a bipartisan vote, as a matter of fact. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen is now the Secretary of Homeland Security. They voted on that yesterday, 54-45. So that seat has now been officially filled.
Can we get something done now with funding DHS before this Easter recess? Now that he's ahead.
I don't know. I don't think they will. Here's why.
Okay.
This is what the president said about the DHS funding and the SAVE Act.
Those two items are the most important thing having to do with Homeland Security. So it should be part of the Homeland Security bill. And I'm requesting that the Republican senators do that immediately.
So he wants SAVE Act tied with DHS funding, and he does not want Republicans to go forward and vote on DHS funding if the SAVE Act is not involved. He said that yesterday in Memphis.
In Memphis, yeah. He also went to Graceland, didn't he?
He did. He went to Graceland.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, if you're in Memphis, man, you got to check out Graceland.
I will say, I was in Memphis a few years ago with the Michigan Panthers, and we did not go to Graceland, but we did end up staying at, I think it's called the Guest House. It's one of the hotels there.
Yeah, okay.
Really nice. You walk into the room, and it's all Elvis everywhere. Big mural of Elvis on the wall, and records everywhere, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. But I was like, I don't need to see.
You don't want to go to Graceland? Okay.
The president did. He was like, I'm a big Elvis fan.
Hey, listen, I would have to at least make a stop if I was in Memphis.
Yeah.
Just like if I'm in Dallas, I got to go to South Fork.
If you're in Dallas, you have to go to where?
South Fork. That's where the show Dallas, J.R. Ewing, and all that. Yeah. I have to go there too.
You got to go there
I got to go see when J.R. hung out.
7:12, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rack your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. The power of podcasts just keeps rolling and growing. What an incredible medium, and now this medium is accessible online everywhere, it seems, as many big tech platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Apple, even Netflix and Hulu are now spending to assemble original podcast content and to develop technology that can optimize and monetize their shows. 2025 was another incredible year of growth for podcasts. And now, thanks to Edison Research, we can quantify the amount of growth that the podcast medium has experienced over the past year. The data shows that for podcasters, the top line numbers are all in the green. Edison Research composed its Infinite Dial report by surveying a cohort of Americans over the age of 12. And how about this data point? A record number of Americans, 80% of them to be exact, have either listened to or watched a podcast in the past year. And we're not just listening one and done. 76% of Americans indicate they've listened multiple times. Now, those figures build on the undeniable momentum Edison measured in the last year. One of the key results from the survey was the growth of podcasting among older consumers and Americans over the age of 55 who are still active listeners. 1 year after, 38% of 55-plus respondents identified themselves as monthly podcast consumers. That percentage jumped all the way up to 58% in the latest study. And now video podcasting is showing strength as well. For the first time, more than half of Edison's respondents, 57% to be exact, said that they have both listened to and or watched a podcast. So there you have it. Looking to put a little extra punch in your marketing, or perhaps making to look podcasting your full-time or part-time gig? You've got good reason to be a big believer that you're likely on the path to something big. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
When every square foot counts, your storage should make the most of it. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from modular offices and unirack pallet racking to storage bins and lockers.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
You know, I don't need to tell you, everywhere you look, things just seem to be costing you more. And when those costs are rising, they're hitting you hard. And when you're forced to make tough choices, keeping those lights on, keeping the heat on should never be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills right now, today. So count on Consumers Energy for that support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
Be sure to start every Sunday at 8 a.m. with JR Sunday with Mark Hollis. Great interviews and conversations all in one place on JR Sunday with Mark Hollis, sponsored by Tryon, your payroll and HR solution. To learn more and to reach out to Tryon, go to RelyOnTryon.com.
For physical health, mental health, and everything in between, Blue Cross is ready to help. Learn more at bcbsm.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
Planning spring business travel? Start your trip the professional way with Metro Cars. Let a professional Metro Car chauffeur pick you right up at your doorstep and take you directly to curbside check-in. For executives and corporate travelers, time and reliability matter, whether you're catching an early morning flight, arriving for an important meeting, or arranging transportation for visiting clients and leadership teams. Metro Cars provides dependable airport transportation designed around your schedule. With experienced chauffeurs on a premium fleet of sedans, SUVs, vans, and buses, Metro Cars delivers a comfortable, quiet ride that allows you to stay focused and arrive prepared. Celebrating over 35 years of excellence, Metro Cars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. When your schedule matters and professionalism counts, trust the transportation company Michigan business travelers have relied on for 4 decades. Reserve your ride today at metrocars.com.
In the heart of Michigan, voice rings to pay. John's coming, he's got work to do. Conservative leader, just like the best. No holds bar, he's ready for the test. Quality efficiency, that's his game. Cut to the plate, calling out the name. Crooked politicians led us astray. Bears on a mission, he's here to stay. Harry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough. 47, give us room to grow. From the field to the city, get people cheer. With Barry in the lead, yeah, we got nothing to fear.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson for governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by MapQuest.
Before smartphones, there was MapQuest. Before GPS, there was MapQuest. Before Google Maps, there was MapQuest. And guess what? MapQuest is back. Now on your phone. No printer required. Download the MapQuest app on the App Store or visit mapquest.com.
Eastbound on the Jeffries at Newburgh, an accident in the construction zone has traffic getting by in the left lane only. Traffic still from 275. Westbound 94 at Connor, an accident in the left lane there. That's causing delays to Moross. And the westbound 94 on-ramp from Van Dyke closed for construction till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Is your roof showing its age? Now's the perfect time to replace it with Weather Seal Home Improvements. For a limited time, when you choose Weather Seal for your roof project, you'll receive a $500 gas card. That's a brand new roof and money for the pump. Now, that's a good deal. Schedule today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. Here's your forecast.
Should be a dry morning, seeing a few clouds around. Those clouds are mixing with clear sky. As we go through the day, I think more clouds coming on in. So hang on to any sunshine to get early. 48 later. Tonight, 35, mainly cloudy. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Tomorrow, 55 and cloudy. And the next change comes in Thursday afternoon with a few scattered showers. 68, showers, thunderstorms into Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, we're going to talk to Congressman John James, running for governor in the great state of Michigan, and also the IRS data from 2022 and 2023 is out, where people are moving from and where they're moving to.
So these conflicting accounts of ceasefire talks is frustrating, because Donald Trump says, well, we're not going to hit these power plants for 5 days because we started talking and there's an agreement in place, and we're gonna work that. We're gonna work that angle. We're gonna work the diplomatic route now, because obviously Iran is willing to talk.
So basically, he's going to try again what they tried to do before this all got started in the first place.
Iran's foreign ministry says there's no dialogue between Tehran and Washington, which might be true.
Yeah.
There might not be dialogue between Tehran and Washington.
Could be some back channel dialogue.
It could be through mediators.
Yes.
Here's what I will say, though. Iran is not to be believed.
Oh, Baghdad Bob, man. Baghdad Bob all day.
Iran is not supposed to be the bastion of legitimate information in this conflict.
No.
It's like, what are we going to believe Vladimir Putin everything he says? Not a chance. So I think we need to be very careful with that. But I don't see a scenario in which this regime and this administration are talking.
No.
Directly.
No, not directly, but back channels, yeah.
Yeah, because the military operations are ongoing. Donald Trump just said we're not going to hit these power plants.
Right, and Israel says, well, we're still doing what we're doing.
An Israeli official says this deal does not appear to be tangible right now. Okay, that makes sense. I don't believe it to be. I can't imagine this thing, after a couple of conversations, quote unquote, would be in a place to be signed or move forward. Yeah.
What the president said he was going to do.
No,
yeah.
I don't see that as a scenario at all. Meanwhile, there were attacks overnight. Israeli authorities said Iran had launched 7 waves of missiles into Israel since midnight. So this comes as Tel Aviv has sustained a lot of different, a lot of damage in civilian areas, things like that. Cars on fire, according to videos on social media. And gas prices are back up this morning, up over $100 a barrel. So what we saw in the immediate wake of Donald Trump yesterday, announcing this 5-day pause for these negotiations to go on, was oil prices dropped. The stock market rose, right? So obviously what the president is saying in this war, this conflict is incredibly vital to what we're seeing here for the cost of everything at this point.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't know what the extent of these conversations look like. We don't know how long they've been engaged in these conversations. Tehran says they want no part in it. They don't care. They're going to continue doing what they're doing, and that's inflicting economic damage, not only to the United States and not only to the region, but to the world.
But we've also supposedly degraded their military capability and their, missile firing capability, but they're still firing missiles.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still some work to do with that. We don't just have total air superiority. It doesn't appear because they're still able to shoot missiles.
Well, I think we do have air superiority. We're able to get in and conduct these operations, but that doesn't mean that they still don't have the ability to fire off missiles.
Yeah.
And they're different things, but the United States has not completely wiped out all of their capabilities yet.
I mean, they still have the drones as well.
Yes. Yes, those very cheap
Mm-hmm.
GPS-driven drones. Yeah, certainly. I do wonder, though, again, who the United States is talking to, what those conversations look like, and who now has the leverage. I can't imagine it's Iran. Because at this point, the pressure point is the United States and Israel have done a lot of damage to their military installations, but you've also angered others in the region. You've also taken this to another level, being Iran, taken this to another level by striking these other countries. And that's not something that they're cool with. And it hasn't driven a wedge between them and the United States. At least it doesn't appear on the outside, because these exercises are still ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
So what Iran was trying to do by potentially striking these other countries in the Gulf was maybe try to drive a wedge between them and the United States.
Yes, and put pressure on the U.S.
And obviously impact the oil markets, which they've done successfully.
Sure.
But it doesn't seem like there's been any sort of division driven between them and the United States thus far.
Yeah. And
So
who's calling the shots in Iran right now? We still haven't not heard from the so-called supreme leader, other than those statements, which was about a week or so ago.
I was watching this interview with it was a English journalist and one of the spokesmen for the regime.
Okay.
And she's like, "Hey, is the supreme leader alive? Is he all right?"
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Yeah." They're like, "Where is he? Is he in Iran?" He's like, "He's fine." Like, is he? We've heard reports that maybe he's in Moscow. He's at the Kremlin. He's receiving treatment in Russia. Any truth to that? He's like, he's fine. Like, so you're telling me the supreme leader is alive and well and in Iran? He's like, sure.
The same thing they said about the other supreme leader after that first strike, and they asked the spokespeople, "Is the supreme leader okay?" "Oh yeah, he's fine. He's alive.
Good.
He's fine." But he was dead.
All good. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Again, it goes to show you that Iran might not be totally truthful. Might not.
Might not. Okay.
But again, it's very hard to disseminate what's going on when, again, the messages from the administration have also been muddy.
No, they have.
So that's really where I think one of the problem lies. Meanwhile, did you see this story about this Loyola University student that was killed by this illegal immigrant?
Yeah.
I want you to hear what this alderwoman, Maria Haddon, she's one of the lawmakers there in Chicago. This is what she had to say about the incident.
And it sounds like this might have been a wrong place, wrong time, running into a person who had a gun. They might have startled this person at the end of the pier unintentionally. But that's all we know. So it from what I've been told, what police investigation has turned up so far, what they've been able to share with me and with Loyola University, we don't believe there is cause for broader community concern.
So this guy, when did he enter the United States?
I believe it was 2023.
And he had a criminal record. I mean, he
sure
had
did.
a long criminal record.
Jose Medina, 25 years old.
Okay.
He's been charged with the murder. He was allegedly hiding along the lakefront and was opening fire on students as they ran away. But according to her,
right,
this girl was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
That's
easy to
why
say.
part of the reason why people are on board with
Yes.
some of the deportation efforts of
Absolutely.
this administration. More next on JR Morning.
Listen in for the Cranes Detroit interview with Mike Lee every Monday morning on JR Morning. Brought to you in partnership with Mercantile Bank. Looking for a new business bank? Mercantile can help drive your business forward. Learn more at mercbank.com.
Hi, I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. No. I said more fun! When I was a kid, a Children's Miracle Network hospital helped me get back on my feet, literally. So trust me when I say that these places aren't just hospitals. They are hope factories. Children's Miracle Network is hospitals, programs, partners, and donors like you. Join us in making big change for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
No matter how you use social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WJR is there for you at WJR Radio.
Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
Introducing Exclusively Cabinets, offering 9 different cabinet lines, with no budget too big or small. Exclusively Cabinets offer free, state-of-the-art design services. Join our clientele of over 100 5-star reviews. ExclusivelyCabinets.com.
Fox News, I'm Gia Gelosi. Iranian missiles and drones are targeting Israel and Gulf Arab states as Tehran keeps up the chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz.
One of those missiles early this morning slammed into the heart of Tel Aviv. We just returned from this scene where first responders were removing debris and rubble. This was a direct impact, according to police, and there was a 220-pound warhead on top of the missile that caused the damage.
That's Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv. DHS remains unfunded, but the department has a new secretary.
The Senate voted 54-45 Monday to confirm Senator Mark Wayne Mullen as the next DHS secretary. Cheers erupted on the Senate floor when the vote was called. 2 Democrats joined Republicans to vote yes: Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman and New Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich.
And that is Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
A few crashes on the roads this morning on the Jeffries eastbound at Newburgh. An accident in the construction zone has the right lane getting by only. That's causing backups to 275. Crash in the left lane of westbound 94 at Connor. Traffic stop and go from Ross. And an accident on the left shoulder of eastbound 94 after Rawsonville Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, turning cloudy this afternoon with a high of 47. Right now, it's 23. Overcast tonight and a low of 32. Cloudy tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR traffic and weather first.
Ready to buy, sell, renovate, or reimagine your home? Don't miss Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, Saturday and Sunday at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Explore exhibitors covering every stage of the home journey, from real estate to remodeling. Bring the whole family for interactive exhibits, and attendees can win up to $25,000 in home improvements. Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, Saturday and Sunday. Grab advanced discount tickets at largestrealestateshow.com. That's largestrealestateshow.com.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Quick story. I needed new glasses. And like many of you, I thought, well, I can go online. That's easy. But then I remembered the last time I did that, it wasn't easy. They didn't look good on me, and they weren't cheap. So then what? You can't take them back to the store. It's the web. Then I remembered Direct Optical Optique. Many of you got your glasses there. You looked great and had a wonderful experience. And that's what I remembered, the experience. I remembered Mariana, Frame Stylist of the Year, and how great she and her staff were at helping me find the right frame at a good price. And that's all we want, right? And they have 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to the IKEA. Go see Mariana at Direct Optical Optique. She still knows everybody by name. 3 generations of loyal customers for a reason, because you get the attention you deserve. Direct Optical Optique in West Bloomfield and in Canton, and at OptiqueDetroit.com.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report from Newsmax. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need this Social Security report from Newsmax. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
Lanier in transition, hits the three, and a sign of life from Knoxville.
Plant driving right.
Lob for Brazil and a two-hand slam.
6 on the clock. Now with 5, he drives on Maddox. Right elbow and 3, spin to the foul line. Jumper up and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Sponsored by Tryon. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
On your ride home, check out the Mitch Albom Show at 4 p.m. Now to get your day started, here's JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
Everywhere ICE goes, trouble follows. We've seen that. And it is highly likely the airports will be no exception. No one trusts that ICE is going to make things better.
I am curious, though. If you've got, something for spring break, taking your kids somewhere,
Sure.
or does what's happening at the airport deter you from travel? If you got to fly somewhere for business,
Yeah.
right? If you work and you got to fly, there's nothing you can do about it, right? You're stuck in that situation.
Yeah.
But if you've got a vacation planned, or you're going down to Florida, or you're going down to Arizona, whatever it is, does this change things for you? Not only because the cost has gone up,
of course.
The security lines are outrageous, and the realities are, is it safer to fly right now?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. Right? There are safety concerns than it was when TSA is fully staffed and everybody's good to go. Like, is it safer to fly today than it was 6 weeks ago? Probably pretty comparable.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to cause panic or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you just have less people on the job. It's just the way it is.
I think if I had something already planned and everything, I would go through. This wouldn't deter me. But if I hadn't and I was thinking about maybe buying a ticket or going somewhere, I'd probably think twice, because it's like, dude, I don't want to have to stand in line for 5 hours. I just don't want to do it.
800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. Does what's happening now at some of the largest airports in the country, right? If you're flying to some of the biggest airports, whether it's Chicago or JFK, LaGuardia, Philadelphia, Atlanta,
Hartsfield.
If you're flying into these places, like, do you just call drive, or do you just make different arrangements? Because I think for the most part, to your point, if you've got a trip planned and you are going to Florida for spring break, you're going. You already paid for it.
Sure.
It's not like you're going to I'm not going to do it now. You're going. But it is much more of a headache. And I'll tell you, if I had to go to the airport right now with those kids, I might rather walk, Lloyd.
Well, I'm wondering how the car rental agencies are doing. I wonder if people are renting cars and say, you know what, I'm not dealing with the airport. I'm just going to get a car. If you don't want to drive your own car, let's say, and you say, I'm just going to get a car. We're just going to get a truck or a van, and we're just going to drive.
I'm going to throw on WJR, and we're going to head all the way down.
Drive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that as a possibility. Sure. Sure.
I could see some shortages maybe at some of these car rental lots.
You're still going to pay more for gas, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
Right. But again, it's like,
Yeah.
6 in one, half dozen in the other.
Exactly.
Right. But I am curious because it doesn't seem like people are pulling back at all, right? A lot of these folks they already have plans.
No.
So they're going through.
I mean, look at the airports. I mean, I know it's, because we don't have enough and people are in those lines, but people are in their airports, man. They're going.
They're going.
This is spring break time. People have made plans.
Correct. So you're going.
They're going.
But I am curious, like, if you got to plan something right now, if you're like, I'm going to go somewhere in June. You planning that trip right now?
I don't think so, because I don't know how this is going to go, and I don't want to be in line for 5 hours.
Like for me, I would say, eventually we're going to get this reopened.
Yeah,
Eventually they're going to fund DHS.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time I need to plan this thing, prices come down. But we've already seen that the cost of the plane tickets now have gone up.
And if you buy now, I mean, you're buying at a higher price.
Buying at a higher price. So maybe you wait, but then again, you get closer and those tickets still go up.
Right.
6 in one, half dozen in the other.
Yes.
You find yourself in a pretty tough spot. Stocks rallied yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oil fell back up again this morning. But again, on the news that the president was going to pause the strikes on these power plants in Iran, good news.
Yeah.
We saw what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
It was positive. But now this kind of weird gray area that we find ourselves in now of like, well, are they talking?
Are they talking? I don't know.
Who are they talking to?
Yeah.
How serious are these conversations? Iran says it's not happening. The markets their heads are spinning.
Yeah.
Right now, trying to figure out what exactly is going on.
Well, I don't know if people are just taking these moves as, especially investors, as long-term signals or just some kind of little short-term fluctuation, But yeah, it's something to watch. We'll see what the markets look like today and what oil looks like today.
Chuck Schumer was critical yesterday of the gas prices, particularly when it comes to this war with Iran.
Prices had been coming down. Then Trump started a war that most of the American people did not want, and he sent prices shooting back up.
Did Chuck Schumer admit the gas prices were coming down under Donald Trump?
Man, when I heard
I don't
that,
think he meant to.
I said, did he say what I think he said?
I don't think he meant to say that, but he did say it. And again, that's true. Gas prices were coming down, and now they're back up.
I was paying $2.44 a week before the war started.
Yeah, it's again, this is the politics of it all. Then you're going to start getting into, this. The administration has to sell the idea that this was the right move. And again, I don't know that they've done a good enough job on this, but they have to sell that this was the right move and that we have to endure the pain of these higher prices, whether it's at the gas pump or the grocery store. And that is going to, in the long run, things are going to come down and it's going to benefit in the long run.
Yeah.
That's a tough spot.
It is.
It's a tough spot to be in.
It's an election year too.
And it's an election year. And so, again, the politics come into play here. So now they're going to say, oh, yeah, gas prices were coming down. That's crazy. But now they're back up.
Yeah, right.
Again, this is the twisting of the narrative that we see out of Washington pretty frequently.
Yeah.
So that's one of the areas that I don't particularly like.
Yeah.
But it's where we are.
It is where we are.
The plane crash at LaGuardia continues to be a main focus. An investigation is ongoing there to find out exactly what happened. But here's something interesting. Speaking of the DHS shutdown, the investigation was initially slowed by complications with this partial government shutdown, according to the NTSB. Jennifer Hamady, the chair, said long security lines at other airports delayed the travel of some more than 24 specialists who will take part in this investigation, and some were not expected to arrive in New York until today. She said that the NTSB had to beg the TSA to help one investigator who waited in line for 3 hours.
Come on.
In Houston.
Come on.
3 hours.
Wow.
So you've got experts that are going to come in and help investigate this, and they're stuck.
They can't get in.
They're stuck in Gen Pop waiting in Houston.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Meanwhile, Mark Wayne Mullen just gets confirmed yesterday.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So he's the new DHS secretary. And you got to get this
Let's
thing
see if
funded.
they can get some negotiations going.
probably not.
Before Easter recess.
We're seeing more contracting measles here in the state of Michigan. How much of a concern is it? If you're a parent, grandparent, what can you do? It's coming up next on JR Morning.
Escape to the greens with the Cardinal Stay and Play Golf Package at St. John's Resort. Enjoy luxury accommodations and 1 round of golf for 2 on the beautiful Cardinal Golf Course, plus unlimited rounds on the Little Cardinal and the putting course. Whether you're sharpening your short game or chasing the perfect drive, it's the ultimate getaway for golfers of every level. Relax, play, and make unforgettable memories. Book your stay and play experience today at stjohnsresort.com. Ready to buy, sell, renovate, or reimagine your home? Don't miss Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, Saturday and Sunday at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Explore exhibitors covering every stage of the home journey, from real estate to remodeling. Bring the whole family for interactive exhibits, and attendees can win up to $25,000 in home improvements. Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, Saturday and Sunday. Grab advanced discount tickets at largestrealestateshow.com. That's largestrealestateshow.com.
The financial industry can be confusing. That's why our show, Expedition Retirement, has a new name. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Saturdays at 3 and Sundays at 5 on News Talk 760 WJR.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guarantee. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in my garage over 15 years ago to make custom blinds easy and affordable for everyone. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Westbound 94 at Connor, an accident there has just cleared. Traffic still slow from Ross. Still have a crash blocking the left lane of eastbound 94 between Rawsonville Road and Belleville. Traffic very slow through that stretch. Also delays on southbound M53 between 26 and 23 Mile. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Mary Grove Awnings. You built the deck, you bought the grill. Now, stop letting the sun push you around. Mary Grove Awnings, motorized, built tough. Click the remote, instant shade, and they can install in as little as 48 hours. Go to marygrove.com and book your free in-home appointment. Mary Grove, own your backyard. Here's your forecast.
Chilly start to the week yesterday. Now milder air pushing in through midweek and beyond. 39 yesterday. Average value this time of year for the high is 49. We're closer to that today with increasing clouds. 48 tonight, cloudy, 35. Suburbs, you'll be a little bit cooler. Milder tomorrow, mainly cloudy, 55. Showers by Thursday afternoon up to the upper 60s. Maybe some thunderstorms by Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Seeing an increase in measles cases here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, health officials in Washington County responding to a confirmed measles outbreak with 4 cases reported so far, 3 confirmed, 1 suspected. All of the cases are linked to an unvaccinated adult who recently traveled to Florida, highlighting how quickly the virus can spread in communities. Now, residents are being urged to review their vaccination status and take precautions to prevent further transmission. And joining us now to discuss what parents and adults need to know is Susan Singer-Cerniglia. She is a Master Public Health Administrator of Communications and Community Health Promotion at the Washington County Health Department. Susan, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you kind of walk us through what's happening in Washington County with the measles and why it's so concerning?
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, the situation started with an unvaccinated adult who had recently been in Florida. And Florida is one of the other states that's having measles outbreak. And that individual returned back to Michigan, and while they were infectious, because folks, unfortunately, with measles can be infectious, a couple days before those symptoms start, and those first symptoms are really kind of generic: cough, runny nose, you might spike a high fever. And it isn't until about 3 to 5 days into that that the rash appears. So this person was, of course, around their, what we usually call close contacts, family, friends, acquaintances, as well as in some public locations. So unfortunately, when that happens, we have to share information because measles is so very contagious. About 90% of folks who aren't already protected, either with prior illness or vaccination, are going to become ill if they're exposed. And that can be potentially serious as well.
I know parents are probably worried, especially if their kids aren't fully vaccinated. And it's not just the kids. I mean, adults are at risk too, especially if they're unvaccinated. Who should be particularly vigilant?
Well, you hit it right there on the head. The folks that we're most concerned about are those that are unvaccinated. And, excuse me, that can include babies that are too young to be vaccinated. The first vaccine is typically given around 1 year. And then we're also very worried about anybody who's pregnant and anybody who's immunocompromised because, you just don't have the immune response, if you're immunocompromised, and there can be serious risks to the baby during pregnancy.
Susan Singer-Cerniglia with the Washington County Health Department. We appreciate you coming on and giving us an update on this. We'll be following it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Meanwhile, if you're a homeowner, if you're somebody in the housing industry, you're going to want to be at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford this weekend because it's Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show. And Larry Williams, the founder of this show, joins us this morning to talk about everything that's going to be going on there. Larry, good morning. It's good to have you.
Yes, good morning.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what people can expect, whether you're in real estate, whether you're a homeowner, whether you're in the maintenance and property management side of real estate. Everybody's going to have a place here.
You're absolutely right. We have close to 100 exhibitors with a whole variety of different products for home improvement and real estate. We also have 15 speakers, which is geared to help the public and some realtors, new realtors, understand the differences between what the public wants and what real estate does. The whole goal of the whole show was to help the public understand real estate better.
Yeah, and it's a tricky time for real estate. It feels like everybody's got questions about mortgage rates and lenders and what you need to buy your home, sell your home. Everybody's got questions these days.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I know the mortgage industry in particular has gone through a lot of changes. And then, of course, you have your title companies, which have adapted pretty much to all the different changes. So it's very good timing to have a show like this.
WJR's Inside Outside guys will be there both Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon. And they'll be talking about everything going on at the show. I'm curious to know, Larry, how has the industry changed over the last, 5-10 years? It feels very different now than it used to be.
Well, I got to admit that has changed a whole lot. 10 years ago, basically it was just a standard, buy, sell. Today, buyers are very, very particular, and sellers are coming down on their prices. 1 or 2 years ago, prices were through the ceiling, and today they're not selling their houses if they don't lower their prices.
You also have a number of different speakers that are going to be there over Saturday and Sunday. And you've got everything from interior design and home staging covered for those realtors that are looking to maximize the look and appeal of these homes so that they can get them moved. But then you've got the mortgage education side of things. You've got home auctions. You've got basically the design process as well. Everybody is represented here basically from every corner of the industry.
Yeah, well, that was our goal, is to try to have a whole lot of different subjects, because every buyer and every seller has a different need, and even the newer realtors who haven't learned all this stuff. The one thing I wanted to accomplish was not to put in seminars and classes that are identical with what's in real estate today, because we have a lot of education in real estate, but most of these classes are different and unique.
So this show is about how you can experience what the real estate industry is, what it's like for your home, and how these experts and professionals too can best support homeowners, because that's a part of it. Maybe you're not looking to sell your home, maybe you're not looking to buy. It's just what support systems are out there for you.
Well, you're right, all the way from inspections on down. We have inspectors there. We have a variety of different type of people there to support all the needs. And even the new people who want to buy don't even understand the whole needs that are out there. And hopefully we can fill that need.
How can people attend this? Where do they need to go?
It's at the Oakland Expo Center. That's on Telegraph Road, just north of M59. And it's $12 to get in, unless there was some free tickets out there if they managed to get some of those. And that's pretty much it. The kids under 12 are free.
Okay.
And we do have a whole kids center, by the way. So if they have kids 6, 8, 10 years old, they'll have a blast with the kids center, and that help the parents look at the show more.
Good. Keep them busy. We got stuff to do here.
Right.
Larry Williams, thank you so much. Really appreciate this. I hope you have a wonderful event, and I might pop out there. I got some home questions
You got some
too.
home questions?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. Larry, appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got it. That's Larry Williams. Pretty cool.
Yeah, always, man. This is the time to go out and check it out, man.
Yeah, it is. And this is when you start seeing more of these houses go on the market, right?
Yeah.
Springtime, towards the end of the school year, people getting ready to make a move if you want to switch school districts, things
Sure.
like that.
All of that.
So all of these things, it's a very important time on the calendar for your real estate portfolio. Meanwhile, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to Ken Cowell, the radio voice of the Detroit Red Wings. Well, they just
What's going on in March,
I
man, for those Red
don't
Wings?
know, but they have an important game against Ottawa tonight. We'll talk to him coming up on JR Morning.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
know that feeling, Detroit. You're merging onto the lodge or hitting the 696 rush and your eyelids feel like they weigh 10 pounds each. We just sprung forward for daylight saving time, and for many of us in the Motor City, that lost hour is still catching up. March is National Sleep Awareness Month, and while we're the city that keeps the world moving, we can't do it safely if we're running on empty. Drowsy driving is just as dangerous as drunk driving. Exactly what you don't need when you're navigating something like a Michigan construction zone. Prioritize your best slept self. Cool down your room. Put the phone away an hour before bed, and if you're feeling a micro sleep behind the wheel, pull over. Let's keep our streets safe and our minds sharp. Visit theNSF.org or search Sleep Awareness Month for more tips. Sleep well, Detroit. We've got a big day tomorrow.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Can they talk their way out of the conflict? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
President Trump, time and time again, has tried to give the Iranians an off-ramp, even before this war began. And he's trying to do so again, understanding that there are still thousands of U.S. forces on the way.
Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv, where there is new Iranian missile damage, that a U.S.-Iran meeting may be set up this week in Pakistan as the fighting continues.
Israeli air defense systems were working throughout the night to intercept this incoming fire. They were able to take down some of the ballistic missiles, but others had those cluster munitions on top. We could see the debris and bomblets raining down over the skies of Tel Aviv. Now, the Israelis say they have just launched a new wave of strikes against Iran just in the last hour, trying to destroy what is left of the military structure of the Iranian regime.
Now to the Senate.
The ayes are 54, the nays are 45. The nomination of Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma to be Secretary of Homeland Security is confirmed.
And Mullen will be sworn in today, but his department remains mostly unfunded for more than a month, leading to longer and longer airport security lines as more unpaid TSA agents skip work. And Fox's Mike Emanuel reports from the White House there is a funding compromise being discussed as Democrats keep demanding immigration enforcement reforms.
Among the ideas proposed by the White House, expansion of the use of body cameras, new limits on enforcement operations in sensitive places such as hospitals and schools, additional Homeland Security oversight in the form of mandatory Inspector General audits. Officers will visibly wear ID and say their names if asked, and adherence to laws against the deportation or detention of U.S. citizens.
Police in Washington, D.C. are looking for two suspects in the ambush shooting of a park police officer last night.
The officer was undercover in a Tesla investigating an earlier incident when two men opened fire. The officer drove himself away from the scene and was treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries.
That's Fox's Carly Shimkus. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Eastbound 94 between Rawsonville Road and Belleville Road. An accident's blocking the left lane. Traffic stop and go through that stretch. Westbound 94 at Connor. That accident just cleared. Traffic still backed up to Moross. And southbound M53 seeing delays this morning between 26 Mile and 23 Mile. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, turning cloudy this afternoon for today with a high of 47. Right now, it's 23. Overcast tonight, a low of 32. Cloudy tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
It's Ryan Armani with Eric from Paramount Roofing. When you hear 5-star experience, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means communicating exactly what we are doing to your home, having respect for your home, delivering the best quality material, crew, and the one we take pride in, satisfaction guaranteed. At Paramount Roofing, we bring the 5-star experience to every roofing project with no deposit required.
Get a 5-star roofing experience with Paramount and get 5 years, 0% interest financing at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Do you hear that?
Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. We make mortgages easy, and we believe transparency is the key to great client service. Our clients get the lowest rate and fees while communicating with one home loan advisor from start to finish. To make your experience even easier, we're going to cover the cost of your appraisal. Transparent and direct communication, lowest rates and fees, and a free appraisal. The client just means more at Hall Financial. 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1467435.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
8 o'clock hour here on a Tuesday. Good to have you. Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, Jamie Edmonds with the day off.
She should not have left us together.
No. It's never a good idea.
Oh, my goodness.
I can tell you that.
Okay.
We were talking about spring break
Yeah.
in the break, and I told Lloyd that in my high school spring break, we my friends and I weren't really focused on tanning, right? But we were like, well, we didn't.
You didn't tan.
We got to get a little color before we go back, and baby oil mixed with a nap.
Oh,
not a great idea,
dude.
I woke up.
It's like bacon.
It smells like something's cooking. Just us. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's spring break time.
It's spring break.
So
man.
there you
Hey,
go.
Anything goes.
That's
Everything
right.
goes.
Meanwhile, we're continuing to watch what's coming out of Iran, and Donald Trump putting this 5-day pause yesterday, made that announcement actually during the show yesterday that we're not going to hit these power plants, these energy infrastructures in Iran. He's going to put a 5-day pause on it because there's been positive movement on the diplomatic front, that these talks have been going well. They were lasting a couple of days. And he felt like there was a move towards a solution that wouldn't result in military action. Great.
Sounds
Problem is, Iran says that's not happening. There's no conversations between Tehran and Washington. And that might be true.
Yeah.
They might not have conversations
some
between those two.
mediators or
There
some
might be outside mediators that are
back
involved.
channel. Yeah.
Sure. So it's possible, but Iran is pushing back on that report. I think everybody's got to save face a little bit here.
They
So
got to.
Iran's playing that game.
Especially Iran with their own people. They gotta still, be
Yes.
strong and,
Yeah. So where that stands, we don't really know. But it is, one of the questions that we asked yesterday was like, well, who are we talking to?
Yeah.
Who's in a position to be making, these types of decisions? Now, of course, they have leadership in place. They've got politicians there that are
Sure.
that are still very much active, but their hierarchy has certainly taken a hit.
Right. And we don't know if the supreme leader is even alive at this point.
Haven't seen them.
No.
So that's fine. But all of these questions persist, and where this thing goes from here as we're now in week 4. Meanwhile, continuing to learn more about that plane crash at LaGuardia. One of the things that we heard from yesterday as the tower sound came out, the audio in those communications, one of the communicators said, boy, I messed up.
Yeah.
Felt like something went wrong, whether they communicated the wrong information to that fire truck that was asking to cross the runway, whether or not they properly gave clearance for the plane to land when they didn't have clearance. There is an investigation going on now. And this could take a pretty long time. I mean, you're looking
got two
at like
countries.
a year because it's an international flight. So
Yeah.
you're dealing with Canada and the United States. The NTSB is going to put out a report, this preliminary report within 30 days. So you're going to have at least that information.
Mm-hmm.
But the extensive look into what happened here might be a ways out.
And it doesn't necessarily always have to be human error. It could have been some equipment issues as well that contributed to this. Equipment on the runway, the runway equipment, the activations, the lights, those kinds of things. That could be as part of it as well. We talked to Mary Schiavo, who is former Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Transportation. And if you want to hear more of that interview, you can go to WJR.com.
Well, and how about this too? So still no DHS funding.
Nope.
Still don't have that. These TSA agents still aren't getting paid. They're going to miss their third paycheck, by the way.
Yes.
How many paychecks could you miss?
None.
Not 3.
Nope.
Definitely
Definitely not 3.
As much as I feel for those people in the airport that have to wait in these long lines,
Sure.
I feel terrible for them.
Absolutely.
I'm gutted for them.
Many of them are quitting because they have to go get a job where they can get money so they can pay their bills and their mortgage.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Daycare, all of that.
Yeah, it's a major problem, but this is too. So this investigation into this plane crash at LaGuardia was complicated, at least initially, because the NTSB says that these long security lines at airports were impacting the travel of dozens of specialists who were set to take part in this investigation. So some of them haven't even arrived yet. Some of them are still expected
They're
to
in
get
the
there
line. They're standing in the
today.
line too.
They're standing in line. They're just they're a skeleton with, dust on them at this point.
Wow.
That's how long they're waiting in line.
Wow.
You had NTSB officials begging the Transportation Security Administration to get these people through because they have to go investigate this plane crash.
Yeah.
And there were some investigators who were waiting in line, like in places like Houston, for 3 hours that have to come and investigate a plane crash at an airport across the country, but they can't get there because they have to wait in security lines for 3 hours.
That makes
We have
no
entered
sense. That makes
a
no
crazy
sense.
zone
That makes no sense.
here. So the Department of Homeland Security still not funded, but Mark Wayne Mullen was confirmed yesterday, so he will be the next secretary.
Let's hope some cooler heads prevail. The sides get together, start negotiating. Now, that's the negotiation we need as well. I mean, we talk about Iran and the United States. We need DHS and the Congress, the Democrats, to get together and work out some type of deal and open this back up again, and get DHS open and get the TSA their money and Secret Service and FEMA and everybody.
Coast Guard, the whole thing.
Yeah, this is just it's gone too far now. A new proposal for a data center on Detroit's east side. Well, it's fueling this heated debate over land use and resources. The city has received a bid to develop 14.4 acres of city-owned land on Shoemaker Street. That's located between the Stellantis plant and City Airport. And while the site could house an industrial building of up to 180,000 square feet, experts from Michigan State University say it's likely a conventional facility rather than a hyperscale center. However, Councilwoman Letitia Johnson is questioning the move, citing concerns over high electricity demands and a lack of local jobs. Last week, as you know, City Council approved a measure urging a 2-year moratorium on all data center construction to allow time for new zoning regulations. So Mayor Mary Sheffield's office says she is currently vetting the request to determine what is in the best interest of Detroiters. We knew sooner or later that the data centers were coming this way. Southfield, other areas in Wayne
Lyon
County,
Township,
Lyon
Van Buren Township, yeah.
It was only a matter of time. There's land in Detroit.
Right.
So it was a matter of time before they hit this area. So
now they are looking at something to pause this and look at the.
Yeah. They're looking. Yeah. They approved this measure urging a 2-year moratorium.
Right.
Yeah.
But they haven't approved it. They're just looking at it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah.
Right? Or did they approve it?
Well, it says City Council approved a measure, but it's still, the mayor still has some say in it as well. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, Pistons win yesterday. Nice win for the Pistons.
Beating those Lakers.
Luka Doncic and
LeBron
and Austin Reeves and all these guys, and they're doing it without Cade.
Listen, I got to give them credit. These guys are really playing well. They play together. The bench is just as good to me, and they're just a strong team. I don't have any worries when it comes out of the Pistons coming out of the East.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
It's the West. We got a couple of teams in there that kind of give us pause.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
OKC and San Antonio.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Meanwhile, as we stand here today, the Red Wings are out of the playoffs. They don't sit in the wild card. They don't sit in the top 3 spots in the division. And so, what has contributed to this kind of end of the season stretch here, this meltdown that they've had?
Little March sadness
over the last couple of years. That's exactly right.
Uh-oh.
That's exactly right. Kenny Cal joins us on the other side here at Jam Morning.
Thanks for calling the Complete Battery Source.
This is probably a long shot, but I'm a buyer for XYZ Corporation, and I was wondering if you carry two-way radio batteries.
Yep, got that.
But you didn't even hear what kind of two-way radio we got.
Don't need to. We're your Complete Battery Source. The answer is pretty much always, yep, got that.
Wow, that's great, but our office isn't near any of your stores. Wish there was some way I could order online.
Yep, got that. With our new and improved website, yepgotthat.com, you can order online.
Really? What about a battery for our...
Yep, got that. Complete Battery Source has batteries for anything that uses batteries, and we can accommodate almost any order, whether you want to buy a new battery for your delivery van or 5,000 AA's.
That's great. Sounds like Complete Battery Source is the place to power up all of my business needs.
That's right. All you got to do is come into any one of the 5 Complete Battery Source locations: Brighton, Southfield, Ypsilanti, Okemos, and Houghton Lake. Call toll-free 877-ALL-BATS or click on yepgotthat.com. 5 locations. Now you got that?
Would you mind going through that one more time?
Buddy's Pizza, the official pizza of NCAA tournament coverage on WJR. Buddy's iconic squares and crispy, crunchy corners have made memories in the Motor City since 1946. Celebrate 80 years of the original Detroit-style pizza at your local Buddy's today.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Collins and Blaha, attorneys at law, specializing in the representation of school districts. Collins and Blaha, your education experts. collinsandblaha.com. Service didn't define their story, but it shaped their foundation. Hear inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life on The Veterans Blueprint. Sponsored by VetLife, Sundays at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-902-5454. That's 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. The sun is shining and spring is calling at Lowe's. Start the season strong with amazing deals. Buy 3 bags, get 3 free of Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil. Valid through March 25th while supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
We have a crash on eastbound Highland Road at Eager Road. Getty's at North Harrison, accident there as well. Slow traffic on southbound 275 between 6 Mile and M14. Same with westbound 94 between Outer Drive and Mount Elliott. And the westbound 94 on-ramp from Van Dyke is closed for construction till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Temperatures trying to rebound now after upper 30s yesterday. Should shoot into the upper 40s today. Clear sky early. Increasing clouds, though, as we head on through the day. Tonight, cloudy, 35. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Wednesday, mainly cloudy, 55. Showers by Thursday afternoon, maybe a few thunderstorms by Thursday night. Thursday's highs in the upper 60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hi, it's Paul W. Join us Tuesday in Focus. Doug Johnson, you asked, you get from Cruise and Tour on our August extravaganza to Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain. We'd like you to join us, and you still can. Details tomorrow, noon to 2, in Focus with me, Paul W. Smith, on WJR.
All right, so the Wings have 12 games left. In that 12-game span, they've got 5 playoff teams on the schedule. They've got Ottawa tonight, who's just a point behind the Red Wings in the wild card race. So things are very, very close. They dropped a rough one to Boston Saturday night at LCA. That was a game they needed to win. Boston sits in that number 1 wild card spot, but they're also tied with Montreal in the Atlantic Division for that 3rd seed. So things are very tight, but the Red Wings got to make a push here. Are they able to do it? Let's bring in Ken Cowell, the radio voice of the Detroit Red Wings, to talk about it. Kenny, good morning.
Well, good morning, Chris and Lloyd. How's everybody today?
We're well.
We're good.
We need a win. We need a win tonight against Ottawa.
Well, it's crunch time. This is playoff hockey right now, and I was just mulling over the point totals on teams that are on pace for how many points they're going to end up with. And I've got the Red Wings going at 98 points. Now, I don't know if that's good enough to win, but you're right. They need all the points they can get. Probably 7 or 8 wins out of their last 12 games. So they've got to get on a roll right now. The good thing is Dylan Larkin has been skating with the team, and tonight he's a game-time decision. I don't think he's 100%, but anytime you can get your captain in the lineup, and we've got our fingers crossed, maybe he'll play tonight against Ottawa, which is a big game.
Ken, for Detroit fans, I mean, March has often felt like this month of heartbreak. Why do you think the Red Wings seem to struggle so consistently during this part of the season?
Well, it's a good question, Lloyd, but I just think it's injuries. And the last couple of years, 2 years ago, Larkin went down, Kopp went down, and when you start losing players like that, it's hard to win in the NHL because of all the parity. Again, this year, Kopp went down, Larkin went down, but the Red Wings were able to keep their head above water and still be in the race. Now, right now they're on the outside looking in, but so far they're about 500 or one game above 500 in March. But again, you just got to win games, and you got to have good, solid goalkeeping from Gibson, and he's going to be the guy in goal. I believe the rest of the way for Detroit. So, it's just a tough part of the season right now, and every point is critical.
To be fair, I think Gibson's played pretty well over this last stretch here. Really, I mean, ever since the Olympic break ended, I thought he's been pretty good.
Chris, he has played well, and I think the only problem is that the team in front of him hasn't really given him what I call run support or goal support. He's only allowed three goals or less in his last 5 games, and no more than 3 goals in his last 5 games. And the team needs some balanced scoring right now, and maybe they'll get that shot in the arm if Larkin comes back today or whenever he comes back. But the scoring's got to be there, and you can play solid defensively and you can get great goalkeeping, but you got to help out the goaltenders with some goals of your own as well.
Ken, even with the key players out, the team has seemed to lean on depth. Are we seeing growth in the younger guys, or are they still feeling some pressure?
Well, I think we're seeing growth throughout the entire season, Lloyd, and thinking about it, if the Red Wings end up with 98 points in a normal season, usually 95 is good enough to make the playoffs.
Right, yeah.
But not this year. I mean, it just seems like maybe 99, 100 points will be the cutoff in a wild card, and that's amazing. You look at the West, and a team that in the Pacific Division is going to get in with 85 points. So It doesn't seem fair, but that's the battle that the Red Wings are in right now. So I think you're seeing growth, and I think what people overlook is coaching. I think Todd McClellan, Trent Yawney has done a really good job behind the bench, and they're able to find ways when the Red Wings struggle a little bit to get them on the right track and make them do the things that they want to do to win hockey games.
I also think the addition of Justin Falk has been pretty obvious, at least on that back end. You talked about that run support defensively. He's been a nice fit so far.
Well, he really has been. He's a solid defenseman, and I think he solidifies the Red Wings' top four as far as the blue line core go. My only concern is Edvinsson only played 18 minutes and change in that last game, and he was bothered with an injury prior to the Olympic break, and I hope he's okay. I'll find out a little more at the morning skate. But at this time of the year, you shorten the bench. You got to get everything out of your guys, and sometimes it can take its toll on its players. So hopefully Edvinsson will be a little healthy, and I'm hoping that he'll be okay.
Speaking with Ken Cowell, radio voice of the Detroit Red Wings, what would it take, Ken, for the team to break this kind of late season pattern? I mean, adjustments in strategy, or maybe leadership from the captain, maybe something else. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, a lot of it is balanced scoring. You can't rely on DeBrincat, who's got 35 goals, to keep scoring each and every game. Kane's got a point streak going right now. I think it's 3 or 4 games, but you got to get some of the third and fourth line guys pitching in from time to time to help out. When the top guys aren't scoring and other teams, their mission is to shut them down, you got to get some offense from other players and also offense from your blue line core too. Sider leads all players as far as points, with points on the blue line for Detroit, but the other guys got to pitch in every once in a while as well. So I just think it's a team effort. And right now you can't open up. You can't just play what I call pond hockey. You got to check for success, and you're going to see some tight scoring games and probably some boring games too, because you're not going to see a lot of offensive chances, and that's what the Red Wings have to do, I think.
Kenny Cowell, you're the man. We always appreciate catching up, and boy, do we want to see some playoff hockey downtown.
Well, we do, and we have our fingers crossed, and they're in a good position right now. You mentioned they have five playoff teams they got to play against, but it's going to go down to the wire, no doubt about it. So hopefully the Red Wings can get the job done this year.
All right, we appreciate it, Kenny Cowell. We'll talk again very soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Got
Have a good morning.
Yeah,
big drama. You're giving us some big drama.
It's the drama, but this is fun. I mean, the East has been weird this year. Like some good teams, most of the really good teams have kind of been okay.
Yeah.
Red Wings are kind of in that middle ground. Like they've been good at times, they've been really not very good at times, but they find themselves in a spot that they're in contention.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. And now you got to just go get it. And they got a lot of good teams that they got to play down the stretch. And
hopefully we get Dylan back.
Game time decision tonight.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to go.
you
if I had to guess, I'm gonna say he's going.
Okay.
He's going to try to go as much as possible. And look, Dylan Larkin at 75% is better than Dylan Larkin at 0%.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
give me Dylan Larkin when he's not 100%. I'll take it.
Yeah.
He's a gritty dude, tough guy. So if he's able to go, he'll go. Meanwhile, just saw John Cornyn on Fox News saying that a deal on DHS could come this week on the funding for the Department of Homeland Security. That's the target.
Yeah.
So
are they talking? They must be talking. They must be.
I mean, they have been talking.
And
they have been.
I'm hoping that Mark Wayne Mullen kind of helps this along now that he's been confirmed.
Maybe, but they're about to go on recess.
Yeah.
So this kind of would be the time. Now, I don't think you should go on recess.
No,
I don't think you should go home and have a nice Easter and take the time off when you got TSA agents that are missing 3 paychecks.
That's right.
That's not a great look. So if there is going to be a deal done, it of course would be this week.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate them, or they don't go on recess.
Or they don't go on recess.
But I don't anticipate they want to do that either.
Exactly. Right.
They got plans to go to
I think that pressure might help.
Bermuda and Aruba too.
Yeah,
so
I think that pressure may help get a deal done.
I think so as well. We're going to take a break. More coming up. Gas prices are up. We'll tell you how much next on JR Morning.
Did you know only 40% of people get to choose when they retire? To reduce fear and to understand if you have what you need to give you what you want in retirement, the charity has learned after teaching tens of thousands of families with assets between $1 to $20 million, you have to educate yourself and prepare now. Hi, I'm Kirk Cassidy, lead instructor for the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program, and the co-host of the Retirement Education Hour, heard here Saturday, 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're retiring within 10 years or already retired, then join us for our retirement education courses held at major universities and colleges in your area. At this course, we'll teach you how and when to take income from which accounts at what age to minimize taxes and reduce the chances of outliving your money. Join us for our 8-hour, almost master's level retirement course to learn how to retire earlier, spend more, and reduce your anxiety. To find a course in your area, go to refedu.org. That's refedu.org. These courses are sponsored by the Retirement Education Foundation, a charitable program.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Fox News, I'm CJ. Papa could talks lead to ending the conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran.
After initially denying any talks were underway, Iranian officials now admit some notes are being passed. Quote, we received points from the U.S. through mediators, and they're being reviewed.
Fox's Louis Tomlinson in Dubai, but that possibility has not stopped Iran from firing into Israel.
Right now, first responders are removing debris and rubble from the site of a direct impact in Tel Aviv. Black smoke was billowing from the skyline following a direct impact from an Iranian ballistic missile. The side of this apartment building totally sheared off.
Fox's trainings in Tel Aviv, the NTSB searching for answers.
They have a lot of questions for air traffic control.
Chair Jennifer Hamady earlier on Fox and Friends. They want to know how an Air Canada plane and a fire truck collided in a deadly collision on a runway at LaGuardia on Sunday. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm. From Birmingham to Belle Isle and beyond, Guardian Alarm has kept homes and businesses safe for over 90 years with 24/7 local live monitoring. Guardian Alarm protects your neighborhood because they know your neighborhood. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
On the westbound 96 express lanes at Greenfield, a crash is taking up the 2 left lanes. Traffic stop and go from Grand River. Crash off to the right shoulder of the Jeffries eastbound at Livernois. Same story on westbound 94 after 75. Eastbound Highland Road at Eager, a crash there. And same story on Geddes Road at Harris Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy this morning, turning cloudy this afternoon with a high of 47. Right now, it's 24. Overcast tonight and a low of 32. Cloudy tomorrow. High of 57. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or
maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Never miss the Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets. The Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories.
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
But at a depth and breadth that only Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day.
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
And into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Stick around for All Talk at 9 with Kevin Dietz. Then Focus with Paul W. Smith at noon on 760 WJR and on the WJR app. Now it's JR Morning. Here's Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
So gas prices are up another 33 cents this week. The current average is about $4 here in the state of Michigan. A month ago it was $2.90.
I saw diesel is $4.99.
Diesel's getting up there, almost $5.
All gas, no brakes, Winnie.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It is. And so, bringing your food items in on those trucks is going to cost you a little more because diesel's more.
Diesel's more too. Interesting story out of the New York Post. Adam Stahl, who's the TSA acting deputy administrator, he told CNN yesterday, it's not hyperbole to suggest that we may have to quite literally shut down airports, particularly smaller ones, if call-out rates go up because of the TSA shortage. There have already been 376 as of yesterday that have either quit their jobs altogether or have just they're not showing up because they're not getting paid. And now this will be the third paycheck that they miss. I looked at FlightAware.
Yeah.
Just as of today. Now, I haven't seen the breakdown of why yet, but as of this morning, there have been 659 total cancellations. That's just today.
Wow.
March 24th. Now, you go back to yesterday, that number of total cancellations was 1,400.
Okay, so they're going down.
Well, we're already at almost 700, 659 as of 8:37.
So 1,400 for that
for
day.
Yesterday,
the
total
day.
24 hours.
Okay, so we're at 600 now at 8:37 in the morning.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So it feels like we could be on pace. Now, part of that is what's going on at LaGuardia.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
sure.
A massive amount of they had almost 100 flights canceled out of there. 59 were delayed. You're looking at 17 and 10% respectively.
Yeah.
So that's a big
part of it.
Contributing to those
Sure.
numbers, certainly. But a lot of this is people are not able to get to their flights in time, that, all of those things because of what's happening with TSA and DHS. So so you've got TSA officials saying, nope, not out of the realm of possibility that we may have to just close some airports for now because we don't have the staff.
And, when you think of these smaller airports, because we have them here, we have smaller airports.
Yep.
Here, that may have to shut down because of it. And I think of those people and I feel for those people who, are standing in those long lines and they're trying to make a connection to get on the cruise. And, the cruise people, they don't wait for you, man. They don't.
Nope.
When it's time to go, it's time to go.
If you're on the boat, great. If not, you better catch a flight to the next stop.
That's it.
Yeah, it's become a real problem. It's become a real problem. Markwayne Mullin was confirmed yesterday by the Senate, so he will be sworn in as the new Secretary of Department of Homeland Security. So maybe that starts the snowball effect here.
Well, John Cornyn, he said that, we could have a deal, really, by the end of the week.
there have been a number of senators that have been working on this. And the problem is now is not the time for this.
No.
I mean, I'd argue it's really never the time.
No, but especially.
But you've got with what's going on in Iran.
Yes.
You've got the threats have been ramped up significantly. We've seen a number of attacks, including here in Michigan on Temple Israel.
Yeah.
We have seen the ramifications of what's happening overseas and how that's translating here. Now, we don't know exactly in all cases how if they are directly correlated. It seems like they were here in the Temple Israel case. But we don't need our departments of Homeland Security to not be properly funded.
No.
We do not need
Not at
that.
this time. I mean, not ever, but really not at this time.
And again, who shoulders the burden? It ain't them in Washington.
Nope.
It's us.
Yeah.
It's us that have to wait in these lines. It's TSA
who's not
who aren't
getting
getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a real problem. It's a real problem. And this is where I think people get disenfranchised with politics instead of becoming active, instead of becoming engaged, instead of being dialed into what's going on. And I'm not talking about you who, going to work this morning, listening.
Right.
You're not part of that. But a vast majority of people in the United States are.
Mm-hmm.
They're just disconnected. They're not dialed in. And part of that is because we're expecting you to do the job, but you're not doing the job. You're holding people's livelihood at hostage when you're not passing these bills.
Exactly. And, these TSA agents have families, they have children, they have expenses, they have house notes. Not everyone is married. Some are single, and they're doing the best they can. And they can't afford to go without a paycheck 1 week, not 3. This was the third check.
3 paychecks.
That says 0.
Yeah, and I totally understand why they go, well, I got to do something else.
Do something.
I can't not make money.
Yes.
I can't dedicate, 10 hours a day to working for nothing. Yeah. Now they'll get back pay and they'll be able to do all that stuff, but that doesn't help you now. Doesn't help you pay for your bills, doesn't help you keep your electricity on, doesn't help you pay for groceries or all of that stuff.
So you got TSA agents who have quit, who have taken other jobs. You have other TSA agents who are still working, and they have gone to take out a loan.
Sure.
That they're going to have to pay when they get their lump back, but the interest and everything. I mean, that's still it. That's an issue there that shouldn't happen.
Certainly. So we'll see. I mean, John Cornyn says that there could be a deal this week. Yeah, because you guys are about to go on recess.
About to go, yeah.
So
and have a nice Easter and everything, and these TSA agents and these Secret Service agents and FEMA and all of those, theirs won't be so nice because they're not getting paid.
It's not good. Meanwhile, on the Iranian front, you're looking at a situation with you've got the president saying, well, we're going to pause on these power plants because we have been talking and we think that there's going to be good progress and we're going to go the diplomatic route now. Doesn't mean that the military efforts aren't
they're still
ending. They're still going
on. Yeah.
They're just not hitting the power plants.
Right.
And so if this bears fruit, it'd be really good. And Donald Trump put that on True Social yesterday during our show.
Mm-hmm.
What we've heard in the aftermath was Iran's like, we're not talking. I don't know what this is. Fake news.
Yeah.
This is bluster. This isn't real.
But then I hear some notes are being passed now.
But now we've heard from Fox News that maybe notes are being passed.
Like we're in school.
And again, right. You're tapping the person on the shoulder in front of you, slipping the note.
Will you be my friend?
Yeah,
yes
right.
or no?
Yeah. Can you stop, please? This would be nice. So that's all there. Now, I think there's probably intermediaries involved.
Sure.
I don't think Tehran and Washington are talking.
No, not directly. No.
I think that there are other people involved.
Yeah.
But from News Nation, the Iranian regime sending messages to individuals they deem to be affiliated with hostile foreign media, telling them that they're being surveilled and they are threatening the most severe punishments. Here is what part of the message says. Legal warning, according to the directive of the Supreme National Security Council and Article 4 of the law on intensifying punishment for crimes against the Zionist regime, membership in virtual spaces, channels, and pages affiliated with hostile foreign media, especially the so-called international terrorist network, and the sending of any photos, videos, content, or location data are considered crimes. Under wartime conditions, such actions may result in the most severe punishments. So you've got the Iranian regime pushing back on people that might be, posting videos or sending things out. The most severe punishment is execution. We've seen that over the last couple of days as well.
Absolutely. And, the whole thing with the president, our president is like, Iranian people, stand up, take back your country, take over your country, take back your country. It's not a safe time to do that right now.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, looking at your portfolio, how much has this been impacted by what's going on in Iran? We'll talk to David Sowerby at Ancora coming up next on JR Morning.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.
All right. Wednesday on JR Morning, we're hearing from the TSA on the latest on their... Start again. Wednesday on JR Morning, we're checking in with the TSA for the latest on the union stance regarding ICE at our airports. Plus, we have your Capitol report, and it's finally Wednesday, which means it's time to name that tune. Warm up those vocal cords and join the game. Catch us here 6 to 9 a.m. on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app.
Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
As the sounds, smells, and warmth of spring have finally arrived here in Michigan, so has the threat of those nasty spring storms. Many of us have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. My friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are here to help. There is no company I trust more because I know the family, I know the company, and I know none of their people work on commission. This year, be ready for Mother Nature with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. If your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. The technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit FamilyHeating.com to schedule your free estimate today.
Planning spring business travel? Start your trip the professional way with Metro Cars. Let a professional Metro Car chauffeur pick you right up at your doorstep and take you directly to curbside check-in. For executives and corporate travelers, time and reliability matter, whether you're catching an early morning flight, arriving for an important meeting, or arranging transportation for visiting clients and leadership teams. Metro Cars provides dependable airport transportation designed around your schedule. With experienced chauffeurs on a premium fleet of sedans, SUVs, vans, and buses, Metro Cars delivers a comfortable, quiet ride that allows you to stay focused and arrive prepared. Celebrating over 35 years of excellence, Metro Cars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. When your schedule matters and professionalism counts, trust the transportation company Michigan business travelers have relied on for 4 decades. Reserve your ride today at metrocars.com.
When every square foot counts, your storage should make the most of it. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from Unirack pallet racking to prefabricated industrial offices that create flexible rooms where you need them most. Or opt for modular mezzanines and double your floor space without expensive renovations.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. This March, make a fast break to MGM Grand Detroit for buzzer beater basketball. Earn entries into the Friday drawings. Winners will spin for a chance to be a finalist to win their share of $75,000 in prizes. Details at the MGM Rewards Desk. 21 and up. It's a good time for a grand time.
Saw that accident on Getty's Road in North Harris. The good news is that accident on the westbound 96 express lanes at Greenfield has cleared. Traffic still a bit heavy to the Davison. Also delays on westbound 94 between Outer Drive and Mount Elliott. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Should be a dry morning, seeing a few clouds around. Those clouds are mixing with clear sky. As we go through the day, I think more clouds coming on in. So hang on to any sunshine to get early. 48 later. Tonight, 35, mainly cloudy. Suburbs will be a little bit colder. Tomorrow, 55 and cloudy. And the next change comes in Thursday afternoon with a few scattered showers. 68, showers, thunderstorms into Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, we saw the reaction to the president's announcement that they weren't going to hit those power plants in that 5-day pause. What does it mean for your portfolio?
Yeah, global markets reacted sharply this week after the president announced that pause on strikes against Iran's energy infrastructure. Stocks rallied. The Dow surged over 600 points, and oil prices fell for the first time in weeks, though uncertainty remains as geopolitical tensions continue. Gas prices in the U.S. have spiked 34% in the last month, leaving Americans feeling the impact at the pump. Joining us now to break down what this all means for investors and the economy, Dave Sowerby, Managing Director and Portfolio Manager at Ancora. Dave, good to talk with you again.
Always, Lloyd, and you nailed it, you and Chris. Uncertainty, and markets have no appetite for uncertainty, and that has prevailed in the month of March.
And, you know, we saw this sharp rally in the Dow and other major indexes after the president announced that pause. What does this kind of headline-driven market reaction tell us about investor sentiment?
Well, sentiment in the last 2 weeks, there's a survey that surveys individual investors every Thursday morning. It's released. And in the last 2 weeks, it's decidedly gone more bearish. More than 45, now 50% of individual investors would say that they're bearish on the market. That may seem troubling in the near term, but I found over the years that when sentiment becomes unusually bearish, if you look out 12 months, reasonable time period, stocks are 10 to 15% higher than the levels that existed when bearish sentiment gets unusually high, which is what we're seeing right now.
How are you interpreting what we're seeing in the oil markets? How are you interpreting what this means for your clients and for people that are watching the stock market? Because it looks like, I mean, they are hanging on every word that's being said about this.
Absolutely. First rule of thumb, given just in the last 3 to 4 weeks, the market's sudden rises, sudden falls, it really begins to again question that market timing is futile. Nobody gets it right on when to buy and then when to sell, or the opposite. So that's the first rule of thumb. Always stay disciplined in this environment. As we sit here today, the month of March, we know, has not been kind. The average U.S. stock is down between 5 and 8%, depending on which index you're measuring. It's unpleasant, but here's the rule of thumb. We get these 5% hiccups on average 2 to 3 times a year. We get 10% corrections on average once a year. We had a nearly 20% correction in 2025 centered on the tariffs. This is not going to be over and done with as fast as we'd like. Be prepared that it can linger longer, that stocks will tread water, but ultimately, I'm going to look at that bearish sentiment rising and think a year from today, stocks will be more than 10% higher, probably closer to 15% higher than we sit at levels today.
For investors who are maybe worried about potential volatility in energy and geopolitical markets, are there defensive strategies, Dave, that you recommend?
Sure, Lloyd. It's a little bit of the old Martha Reeves and the Vandella song, nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. So stocks are down, bonds are down this month. It is I believe going to be, more temporary than not. There aren't too many places to run to in the very near term. I suppose U.S. Treasuries are always that safe haven, but don't go to too much cash, because as we sit here and we try to interpret this war, the price of oil, the impact on the consumer, we're still talking about a U.S. corporate profit environment that's growing between 12 and 14% compared to year ago levels. I'll take that backdrop in winning the tug of war to the plus side ultimately, versus trying to forecast what happens in Iran, the price of oil, the president's tweets versus what the Iran government is saying. You're never going to accurately forecast that.
How does this change, though, as the days go on?
It lingers, Chris, absolutely. You mentioned gas prices are up materially in March. I figure back of the envelope to the average driver, that's between $20 and $25 a month. They're going to spend on higher gas prices filling their car up. We don't want that to linger, because it certainly has an impact on the consumer. And up to this point, the consumer has still defied gravity. The U.S. consumer has still been healthier than that. But if we get that lingering a little bit, it'll have a bite into retail spending, particularly as it impacts lower income individuals, because they devote more of their income to gasoline. But compared to 25 years ago, we spend so much less on energy as households than we did back in the 1980s. That's one of the reasons why I still think the probability of a recession is less than 25%.
David, if Iran and the U.S. do start actual negotiations, what's the timeline, you would expect before we see any type of meaningful impact on oil prices or, the broader stock market?
Well, Lloyd, not being quite the political expert, but recognizing markets move fast.
Yeah.
So what we saw yesterday morning is a microcosm. I'm looking at the futures market at 6:30 a.m. and I'm not feeling very good. Then I get up and have a coffee and I come back and futures are up 1,000 points for the Dow. They didn't quite finish that way, but markets will move quite fast if they think that there's some kind of resolution to this event. I think for the seasoned investor, just plan it's going to last a little longer than you want.
Okay.
David Sowerby, always appreciate the insight in uncertain times. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me on with you and your listeners. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good information.
It is.
Because, again, people are confused.
No, they are.
And again, when it comes to how you're investing your money, where you're investing your money.
Yes.
All those questions persist.
And how, they're hanging on every word that comes out of Washington.
Yeah.
Every word.
How about this? This is one of the stories from one of the flight attendants on that
On the
Air
plane?
Canada flight.
Okay.
Solange Tremblay survived being thrown in the plane, Air Canada, when it collided with that fire truck at LaGuardia. She sustained multiple fractures to one leg, will need surgery, but otherwise she's okay. That's according to her daughter. They said it's a miracle that she's got a guardian angel watching over her, but it's her seat that she was in. They said that played a role in probably saving her life. Is the flight attendant seats that they have, the ones that just like fold down, they look incredibly uncomfortable.
Yes.
But they said that the technology in those seats.
This wasn't the woman who was found, because it was another one who was found outside of the plane, still strapped in her seat.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. Unbelievable stories from that. All right, that's going to do it for us. Kevin Dietz and All Talk coming your way next. Have yourself a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to Making the Impossible Possible with Henry Ford.